Bang! As we left off, young Master Yun marched into the Thousand Treasures Tower, demanding a loan that would shake the foundations. Words clashed like swords. But then, a gilded elder beside the tower master choked. His lifeblood gushed forth in a crimson spray. A cold, white-robed figure beside him merely stroked his beard and sneered. Ha! Quite a joker, young Master Yin. The velvet glove was off, the gauntlet thrown. Meanwhile, the tower master sat upon his high seat, his expression unreadable. The scales of profit and risk tipped in his mind. He took a measured sip of tea. This tower is vast, but my authority has limits, his voice rumbled. A few hundred spirit stones I could manage. But this figure of millions, he raised an eyebrow, the words deliberate, that I take as a jest. Beside him, a beast-faced man swallowed hard, his knees trembling with pure dread. Lian Shao simply smiled. He set his cup down with a decisive clink. His gaze sharpened to a razor's edge, and his next words could have cut the tension in the air. I'm not joking at all. Boom! The air in the room turned to ice. The man with shades broke into a cold sweat, his mind racing. How many killers are outside? Can I make it through the window? Is escape even an option? The stoic man in black simply stiffened, muttering, "Oh, you're not joking." And the timid onlooker just wanted to vanish. I'm leaving. I want no part of this bloodshed. At that precise moment, Li Yun Xiao flicked his wrist. A crimson and gold card appeared between his fingers. Manager Kong Shun took it, and his eyes went wide as saucers. He shot bolt upright, his voice cracking. This is a Thousand Treasures Tower, Vermilion VIP token. He looked up at Li Yun Xiao with awe and panic. Scarce as phoenix feathers in the southern domain. My deepest apologies, esteemed guest. Old Duan stood dumbfounded beside them. Li Yun Xiao just waved a hand. Peace. This is but the first tier. There are at least 4 above it. Then Li Yun Xiao dropped an even bigger bomb. He casually mentioned that if they wouldn't accept its use, he might just sell the card. The elder was apoplectic. Sell it. Do you know the chaos this token could unleash upon the southern domain? A green-eyed brute seethed internally. Madness. This card is a walking calamity. Which demon lord spawned it? But Li Yun Xiao remained unruffled. Well, if it troubles you, never mind. I'll be heading to Verdant Seaport in a few days. We can discuss it then. A masterful retreat, leaving the bait dangling, watching who would bite. No sooner was one fire doused than another flared. While the VIP token matter simmered, a high-ranking elder in golden robes stepped forward within the tower's halls. Courtesies were exchanged, veils of silk hiding blades of steel. Li Yun Xiao bowed in return, mentioning a trip to the Heaven-Sent Empire branch, and coolly promised that whoever manages affairs here well would see their compensation multiplied tenfold. He smiled, but his eyes held depths no laughter could reach. A woman in red watched nervously, while a white-haired elder narrowed his gaze, a sudden, sharp warning prickling his senses. This youth is no ordinary fish in the pond. Now, let's turn our eyes to Verdant Seaport. High on a balcony, a crimson-haired woman leaned over the rail, watching 2 figures pass below. Her gaze settled on Li Yun Xiao. Who is that youth? She mused, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. Meanwhile, Li Yun Xiao and Old Duan arrived at the bustling docks. Li Yun Xiao smiled slightly, gesturing ahead. Old Duan, lead the way. You know this place better than I. Old Duan puffed out his chest, relishing the moment. Huh, still have to ask Old Man Duan. Don't think coming from some fancy sect makes you an expert. When it comes to hunting the open sea, you'll be relying on me. Old Duan swaggered through the port, chest out. Anyone who sails these waters knows to respect Old Man Duan, he boasted. No sooner had the words left his mouth than a flashy figure in teal robes and glasses swooped in. Ma Wendy of the Heaven-Sent Empire's soaring sword sect. Old Duan, been looking for you everywhere, he declared. Old Duan eyed him warily. This Ma Wendy was always sniffing around for shady deals. Why seek me out, he grunted. Ma Wendy just laughed a proud, sharp sound. There's definitely something, my friend, and it's going to require a little ding-ding from you. He named his price, leaving Old Duan stunned into silence. From the shadows, Li Yun Xiao observed quietly, noting the title, 1-Star Great Martial Master, hovering around this newcomer. Ma Wendy was relentless, trying to drag Old Duan into some grand hunting party. Old Duan shook his head fiercely. Not interested. I've been partial to solo hunts lately. Ma Wendy pushtarde. Li Yun Xiao, observing coolly, cut in. I know. The good thing he mentions is likely a rare sea beast. Usually, people form large groups to tackle higher-tiered monsters. Old Duan just grunted. Seeing his resistance, Ma Wendy finally played his trump card. Old man, we're gonna hunt a 6-tier sea monster. That did it. Old Duan nearly leaped out of his skin. 6-tier? Are you courting death? That requires the power of a martial emperor. What beast? Who else is in? Old Duan was reeling, but Ma Windy counted off on his fingers, confident. Elder Hanya, Sure Honkai from Four Blades Company, Yin Feiyue from the Tiger Slaying Clan, the Situ couple, he grinned. Plus you and me. That makes 7. A man in a camouflage headband beside him cackled. He with that, and the 7-star strike formation. We'll give a fight. Ma Windy's eyes turned icy as he spelled out the target. Purple, 9-striped, moth. A golden-bearded elder nearby went pale. You're insane. That's a 7th-order demonic beast. Where did you find it? From the back of the crowd, Li Yun Xiao listened, his gaze sharpening. The stakes had just skyrocketed into the stratosphere. A flashback, a storyteller's beat. Now, dear listeners, who is this Li Yun Xiao? In a past life, he was one of the continent's top 3 legendary martial emperors, Gu Feiyang. Reborn into this youth's body, he carries an emperor's soul. He can refine finished pills to perfection, making beauty sigh. I want to follow him forever. He can also purify his enemies. The arrogant Jiarong was convinced to take the youth as his master, ending with just a tombstone that reads, "Here lies Jiarong." Such power. Is this the work of a mere talent? As the saying goes, a careless word invites disaster. In front of a true master, one step, one misplaced boast, can mean a strike that shatters the soul. Flashback warning. See that blue-haired youth? One cold glare from him, and his opponent froze, body shaking, words dying in his throat. Trash like you dares to compare to me? Each syllable was a hammer blow to the spirit. Back to our tale. Seeing old Duan waver, Ma, when he leaned in, voice hushed. Relax. The purple 9-striped moth is still young. Li Yin Xiao picked up the thread. If it were mature, only martial emperors would dare covet it. But as a juvenile, though only 6th-tier in power, its corpse is worth more than most 7th-tier beasts. His gaze took on a distant look, because within it flows a trace of ancient true dragon blood. The vision shifted, showing the creature's form, a purple drake in youth, a world-shaking terror in maturity. Ma Windy pressed his advantage, laying out the loot split. We divide the spoils 8 ways. I take 2 shares, the rest of you get 1 each. Plus, he added, an extra 50,000 high-grade spirit stones for everyone. He made it sound generous. Old Duan frowned. Liunxiao skufa inwarli. What fair distribution? The lion's share for the organizer, the mortal risk for all. The moth's corrosive, lethal blood made this deal far more dangerous than it seemed. There were sharp eyes in this gathering. A white-haired elder scrutinized Li Yun Xiao, asking old Duan, "What's this youth's strength?" Old Duan evaded, roughly on par with Ilderanya. That did it. A man in goggles nearby seethed with jealousy. If he's not old Duan's disciple, and he's so powerful so young, then he must be a bastard child. The thought enraged him. His fist thumped against a wall in frustration. The hunt hadn't even begun, and the cracks were already showing. No time to waste. Ma Wendy gave the order. Then let's not delay any further. Let's head out. With a swoosh, he was a blur of motion, leaping onto the rooftops. Figures followed, robes whipping in the wind. Out to sea, they cried, vaulting from the high eaves toward the vast ocean. Soon after, they arrived at a quiet lodge. Ma Wendy pushed the doors open with a flourish. This way, everyone is waiting inside. A feast to see us off. Inside the lodge, the feast was in full swing. A staff-wielding elder jabbed first, laughing at old Duan. Old Duan, heard you got swallowed whole by a 100-spawn iron frog a few years back? How'd that taste? Old Duan flushed, but shot back. Better than you getting your pants leg caught by a 3-clawed crab and chased for 3 miles. The barbs flew back and forth. Then a scholarly man in blue robes stood, offering a polite bow. Sure Honkai, of the Square Pavilion. 6th Dao Realm Martial Master. A pleasure. An undercurrent of power rippled through the room. Introductions continued. Yin Feiyue of the Tiger Slaying Clan stood with arms crossed, radiating arrogance. The Situ couple sat nearby, a pair of seeming youths who were, in truth, martial grandmasters with decades of renown, both pushing 90. The waters of the martial world are deep indeed. Pleasantries done, the white-haired elder rapped the table. Enough chatter. Ma Wendy, where is this moth? Show us the map. With a smile, Ma Wendy slowly drew a scroll of ancient leather from his robes. The map unfurled with a rustle. The group crowded around, eyes on a marked area called Water 9-striped. Old Duan's gaze swept over it, and his face drained of color. He slammed a palm on the table. Asterisk bang asterisk. But his mind was a storm. This is bad. It's in the same direction as the rainbow fog. They're within 30 miles of each other. He fought to keep his expression neutral, but a bead of sweat traced his temple. Li Yunxiao watched it all. He's really acting, he thought coldly. Asterisk, he definitely saw the proximity, but his face shows nothing. This old fox, he schemes deep. Asterisk. Chaos reigned in old Duan's mind. Damn that little ancestor child. What curse did he put on me? Others noticed his odd behavior and pressed him. He could only stammer. The question echoed in his skull. Was it the same area where he'd last gathered the crimson gill mushrooms? Yes. No. He couldn't speak the truth. He couldn't lie convincingly to these veterans. Cold sweat drenched him as his composure crumbled. What do I do now? What do I do now? Beneath the clinking cups and forced laughter, treacherous currents were already pulling them toward the abyss. The air aboard the cloud-soaring vessel hung heavy with the scent of food and idle chatter. That peace shattered in an instant. The white-haired elder, Duan, slammed a hand on the table, his eyes bulging, a cold sweat beating on his temple as he pointed. The bloodfish fungus? The legendary terrestrial treasure that can boost one's power with a single bite. His trembling voice cut through the noise, freezing every man at the table. Inside, Li Yunxiao offered a silent, grim chuckle. Asterisk sharp eyes, old fox. Sharp eyes indeed, asterisk. Old Duan's grin was a knife edge of mockery as he scanned the skeptical faces. I found it, but I didn't eat it. Sold it for a pretty coin. His finger then snapped out, a blade of accusation aimed squarely at the quiet, dark-haired youth beside him. The one who swallowed the bloodfish fungus and lived to tell the tale. Is this brat Li Yunxiao? The words hit like a thunderclap. The red-haired woman and the masked man gasped in unison. Impossible. With his cultivation level, he should be dead 10 times over. Every eye in the room locked onto the young man, burning with suspicion and sheer disbelief. As the murmurs of doubt grew, old Duan cackled, clamping a heavy hand on Li Yunxiao's head. Our relationship? I'll spell it out for you, he boasted. I divided that fungus into over 1,000 doses. Fed him one a day, a slow, steady drip. A golden-haired man nearby shook his head in dismay. Madness. Splitting it ruins 90% of its efficacy. A waste of a supreme treasure. A blue-haired onlooker sneered, voice dripping with contempt. No wonder he was force-fed. Just a bastard son, polished up for show. The words were daggers, meant to draw blood and scorn in equal measure. Meanwhile, a different storm was brewing. Duan Yu, his face flushed with humiliation, glared across a steaming hot pot at a loudly laughing elder in yellow. Cultivation isn't everything. You'll see when you have a family of your own talking. I say. The elder boomed. Duan Yu's knuckles were white, a silent scream building in his chest. Asterisk stopped talking. Just stop. Asterisk finally, he exploded to his feet, tears of frustration welling in his eyes, his shout making the broth tremble. Enough, brother. I may only be your half-brother, but you've treated me as your own flesh and blood. When I make my name, I will repay you 100-fold. It was a vow, raw and desperate, forged in the fire of shame. Before the echoes of Duan Yu's emotional vow could fade, a few listeners nearby were struck dumb, exchanging bewildered glances. His mother, what history is this? Another clapped Duan Yu on the back, sniffling about true brotherhood, the scene teetering on the absurd. But in that very heartbeat, asterisk, asterisk, boom, asterisk, asterisk, a deafening explosion rocked the ship's hull from below. The vessel shuddered as if struck by a behemoth. Thick smoke and fire geysered from the lower decks. At the blast's epicenter, a figure choked on a pained grunt, eyes wide with terror. Catastrophe had struck. Chapter end. Amidst the flames, a pocket watch shattered with a crack, its gears scattering like lost moments. A symbol of time undone, of fate accepted. Yet from those same flames, the words, a brotherly bond, burned brighter than ever. The old page turns to ash. The hunt is on. Last we left them, beyond the port's safety, a brutal scuffle had just ended. The blue-skinned, horned pirate lay sprawled, stars in his eyes, blood on his lips, seething with shame. Vicious. If this gets back to Vern's seaport, my reputation is ash. Behind him, Li Yunxiao stood calmly, a cold smirk on his lips. Humph. You brought this on yourself. Don't try to outthink me. A green-robed man with a headdress boomed with laughter, clapping his hands. Brothers standing together face any danger. With a mind like his alongside us, this expedition is as good as one. Gathered in the ship's main hall, the group listened as a pale elder Duan recounted a past voyage with a 7-man party. Rainbow miasma, underwater whirlpools. We barely escaped with our lives from the purple nine-striped moth, he finished, voice still laced with old fear. The atmosphere turned grave. Their blue-haired leader, Brother Seacombe, rose decisively. That is why we rely on the seven-star striking array now. Combined, we can trap a sea beast a full realm above us. The journey takes a day. Any objections? Li Yunxiao remained in his cabin, dismissing the others. I won't meddle in the affairs of martial grandmasters. In his palm, a blue crystal glowed softly. The seven-star array is common, but its power lies in execution. Then his fist clenched, asterisk, asterisk, shatter, asterisk, asterisk, the crystal exploded. A titanic surge of azure energy erupted, a whirlwind of power that consumed him, lifting and shattering every piece of furniture in the room. His mind was a calm center in the storm. Asterisk, the first stage of the tyrant body tempering technique, body of glass, is complete. Now I can train true chi and normal chi in tandem, without drawback. Asterisk, a day of furious cultivation passed in a flash. The battleship had reached its destination. The great ship cut through the waves to a stretch of ominous sea. Elder Duan peered around nervously. Brother Seacombe, are you sure? Could the moth have moved on? The masked Seacombe's voice was iron. Sea beasts are territorial. It will not have gone far. A blue-haired man nodded firmly. Brother Seacombe is right. With no further discussion, Seacombe's arm swept down. Now, at his command, figures on the deck blurred into motion. Asterisk, asterisk, swoop. Swoop, swoop. Streaking toward the water like arrows loose from a bow. On a long sea bridge, a troop of warriors in green and gold stood arrayed for battle. Their blue-haired commander, goggles glinting, issued a single, sharp order, start. The reply was immediate. Yes, sir. No sooner had the word left their lips than the air screamed. Orange-yellow blades of light, like lashes from a wrathful sky, shrieked down and smacked into the bridge. Another streak hissed across the water. Asterisk, asterisk, whoosh. Asterisk, asterisk, blasting into a ship and throwing up a geyser of spray. The assault had begun in earnest. For all their ferocious attacks, the sea beast remained unseen. Then, Li Yunxiao shot into view, riding his flying sword green cable low over the waves. In his hand was a jade vial. He uncorked it, letting a few drops of viscous, emerald liquid fall. Glop, blub. Asterisk, asterisk, instead of dispersing, the substance swirled and sank like a living thing. In moments, a vast green vortex churned on the surface, spiraling down into the lightless depths. The green vortex churned, setting the sea to a furious boil, rocking the ship at its edge. The blue-haired man marveled. You're amazing, young Yunxiao. Li Yunxiao offered a calm explanation. Snake scent, grass extract, draws scale creatures. But Elder Duan frowned. The purple moth is a half-dragon. Its sense of smell is weak. The seawater would dilute the scent. It might not work. He turned to the leader. Brother Seacombe, a backup plan? Seacombe's brow grew damp. As doubt lingered, a loud bonk and hack came from a nearby skirmish. A fighter was struck in the head by a crimson shockwave and dropped, a giant K.O. Hovering above, a bystander shouted, Your brother is a genius. Is he also a refiner? Instantly, Elder Duan's worry vanished, replaced by glee. Yeah. Stop calling him my brother. If you knew this kid's insane talents, you'd be hitting yourself with a brick. On a section of the deck, a blue-haired man knelt, hammering the planks. I'll never be able to fix this array. Nearby, Li Yunxiao stood with his hands behind his back, a soft humph of contempt escaping him. His sharp gaze was fixed on the horizon. There, where sea met sky, several blinding pillars of golden light wreathed in orange fire, like spears of divine judgment, slammed down from the heavens. Swoop, boom! They struck the ocean, raising mountainous waves, one beam crushing a ship to splinters. An old white-bearded onlooker gasped. The soaring sword sect lives up to its title. Fearsome power. In the crowd, a bespectacled man with gray hair offered a sly, quiet chuckle. Hee, before Li Yunxiao, a blue-robed youth smiled and bowed slightly. I don't understand this array. Could you please teach me about it? Li Yunxiao studied him, his own expression turning carefully neutral. A silver-haired man laughed boisterously, activating a formation disk. Behold the Cloud Rain Array. It can detect any living breath within 500 miles. If the moth is here, it cannot hide. Others gasped in awe. Incredible. The soaring sword sect is too strong. Li Yunxiao, however, met this with open disdain. Is that all? Just one of the 800 basic arrays passed down by the imperial throne Marshal Venerable Tungguan. Fit only to fool commoners. The silver-haired man flushed with rage. "You insolent brat! How dare you insult my school?" As he raged, a torrent of savage green energy erupted from the formation, crashing like a maddened dragon into a distant, hovering purple ship, shaking it violently. Li Yunxiao's eyes narrowed, pinpointing a signature within the chaotic currents. "It's here," he declared. The sky broke. Dark clouds were torn asunder by an unseen force, the sea mist evaporating in an instant. Above, a colossal vortex of green energy spun with a whoop-whoop shriek. Below, a tidal wave the size of a mountain erupted, smashing against an ancient floating pagoda. At its crest stood Li Yunxiao, soaked to the bone, his dark hair plastered to his forehead, but his eyes blazing with fierce resolve. He threw his arms wide, scattering droplets, and roared a challenge to the heavens. "The clouds are spread, and the mist has dispersed. The moth is here." Those final words were a war drum's beat. "Let the hunt begin." Scene replay. Flashback to that day. A self-proclaimed third-tier refiner bragged before Li Yunxiao, tales of crossing the dusky flame empire, nonsense about diapers and travel. Li Yunxiao cut him down with a single, contemptuous label, braggart. The man's pride shattered on the spot. Two burly onlookers were stunned speechless, one snarling, the other pale as a ghost. One muttered, "Sometimes, children's drawings can dissolve the awkwardness." Cut to another scene. An old man in a cowboy mock already had his revolver drawn, flames spitting from the barrel. "Indeed. I'll go catch that lass right this moment," someone yelled. "Calm down." The old man puffed his chest. A true bon vivant shows his spirit. Scanlation group credits. New chapter. Raging seas, titanic waves. The battleship tossed like driftwood in a maelstrom. A white-haired elder stood at the prow, hair and beard whipping in the gale, bellowing, "It's here. Attack!" A gray-haired commander roared over the storm. "Drive the ship away. This isn't a battle you can watch." Even as he shouted, a figure with flying white hair shot from the deck, skimming across the waves. On board, warriors formed a bristling wall of halberds. And deep below, a massive, ominous shadow began to swell. A different extreme, a frozen wasteland scoured by blizzard winds. A behemoth wreathed in purple fur, with blazing red eyes and savage tusks, let loose a roar that shook the glaciers. It was chasing Isonian enveloped in a halo of orange light. The beast moved with terrifying speed. Asterisk, asterisk, boom. Asterisk, asterisk, shattering an ice cliff, whoosh, kicking up a storm of snow. The Xiaonan, cornered against a precipice, glanced back and felt his courage shatter. "That monster is coming after me," he screamed. Life and death were now a hair's breadth apart. Clash upon clash, the arena erupts. A warrior of the fiery sun lets loose a scorching sun strike. The sword's energy, a molten dragon unleashed. But his foe does not yield. Long hair flying, he roars seven-star strike begin. The air shudders with ban and smash as energies collide. And a third contender, a violet-haired swordsman, adds his blade to the fray, a single, deadly swoosh cutting through the chaos. It's a storm of steel and will. Meanwhile, in a frozen wasteland, the battle takes a turn. Three warriors, their voices one, cry out, "Seven-star strike begin." Another bellows, "Stop wasting time. Seven-star start." No sooner are the words uttered than the sky splits. A pillar of golden light descends with a WONG, a violet dragon coiled within. It bursts forth with a ROARR, crashing against the starry formation. And then, a final command, a white-haired master's hand seal the deal, combine, crack, doom. The formation detonates. Ice shatters into a whirlpool of ruin. Rain lashes down, the danger sharpens. Look above, a golden draconic beast wheels in the storm, its eyes blazing red. Bang, bam, POUN. It gathers its might. Below, the sea rages, ice sunders, water SP/ES high. Amidst the chaos, a golden sphere pulses within the torrent. A blue-haired man with glasses cries out a desperate warning. "Be careful. That monster is about to use its innate ability, Seabed Draconic Thunder." The Seabed Draconic Thunder is unleashed. A titanic wave, roaring with a WOSH, crashes down with world-ending force. The golden sphere erupts within it, spurting energy like blood. And from within the deluge, a pair of eyes burn with golden flame, unyielding. Then, a mocking laugh cuts through. It's a brute through and through. It's at most in the six directions realm. A white-haired elder appears, his disdain absolute. The formation is broken, the pressure mounts. A violet-haired man's thoughts race. Seabed Draconic Thunder? It's awakened its innate power already. He calculates, if I survive this, I might reach the 7th stage, but for now, can they hold? The golden dragon phantom dives with a whoosh, smashing into the tidal wave. A white-robed elder clad in blue light is sent flying, yet he shouts, "Ha ha!" No matter how many times you try, the result is the same. Another voice taunts from below, "Wasting your energy will only let us catch you faster." In the final moment, the violet-haired man's face shows true alarm at the cataclysm before him. But the beast fights with cunning, not just strength. Within the formation, 3 masters are struck down, one after another. A white-haired elder is hit, screaming UWH, as he realizes something's off. Another coughs blood, agony clear. A red-haired warrior is flung through the air with a pained H. A black-haired youth with violet pupils watches it all, coldly analyzing. A purple 9-striped moth with dragon lineage. It's breaking the formation by attacking the casters themselves. No sooner does he think it than the monstrous purple moth descends with a ROER, wreathed in storm and violet energy, scattering fire and stone in its wake. Now Gu Feiyong moves. As the purple moth rages, he strikes. Clad in golden armor, wielding a massive halberd, he roars, "Just die." The white flame ghastly strike ignites, ghastly green fire coiling around his weapon. The 6 evils halberd art. The blow is a blur, snap. The moth's draconic head is cleaved, violet energy erupting. As the illusion dissipates, Gu Feiyong's cool voice cuts through. "You're nothing more than a brute. Even a simple illusion can trick you." One strike landed, but the foe endures. The purple dragon coils in the heavens, moth gaping. Crack! It shreds the last remnants of the defensive energy. The barrier shatters into violet and cyan chaos, lightning dancing. The dragon howls its triumph. Below, on the clouds, the white-haired, golden-armored elder lies battered, gasping for breath, fear and exhaustion etched on his face. "We're screwed. It's too strong," he wheezes before his anger surges. "Where are those 6 mother F ****? Are they all dead? In the jaws of death, a lifeline?" The white and blue-haired swordsman is trapped on his vessel, cornered. He steels himself. "I can't escape. I'm gonna die either way, so I should at least kill this beast." But from above, a sharp voice cuts him off. "Kill my ****s. If you don't want to die, get over here." It's the black-haired youth, his tone laced with scorn. "Mother *****? They're the smart ones." The moment the array broke, all of them hid themselves and escaped. He points decisively at his own craft. "But you waited for a chance to ambush it, like an idiot. If you want to live, get on." Chapter end. Acknowledgements. As the battle rages on high, another drama unfolds elsewhere. A magnificent 5th-tier battleship plummets through storm-lashed cliffs and waterfalls, whooshing past rock faces. Aboard, a golden-haired, pig-nosed brute rages, "What? They ran away when the array failed. Those damned cowardly turtle heads. When I find them, I'm going to crush them to pieces." A black-clad swordsman on a bridge below snaps. "Can you stop yapping around and get up here? You're like a little girl." The brute retorts, "You were stupid, so don't complain." A blue-haired man with a feather ornament adds coldly, "The 5th-tier battleship isn't going to outspeed the purple 9-striped moth." Finally, the swordsman's voice turns grim with resolve. "You should go first. I could buy some time for you." On a mountain path bridge, a rainy night standoff. The golden-armored elder, Old Duan, is sent flying with a smack by Li Yunxiao, Gu Feiyong, sputtering, "I was just saying." But Li Yunxiao's demeanor shifts, his voice serious. "Okay, seriously. How do we plan to deal with that?" A plan forms. "Just find someone else to take the hit." Old Duan's anger redirects. "Good idea. Damn you, Ma Windy. Now your men will go down." Li Yunxiao commands, "Get ready." No sooner spoken than a sword's gleam pierces the sky. Old Duan startles. "Who is it?" They stand on the bridge, soldiers gathering, one gasping, "Old Duan." Another asking urgently, "Mister, what's the situation?" Now Li Yunxiao moves. Faster than the blue-haired man's disbelieving HMPH can fade, he blurs forward, a draconic phantom flickering behind him on the ancient bridge. His eyes widen, a single word tearing from his throat. "Explode." Finger lancing forward. And then boom! The world is swallowed by sound and fury. A cataclysmic fireball erupts from him, shock waves ripping outwards. The aftermath becomes a terrifying whoosh of force that sends the 2 observers below scrambling in sheer terror, hands clamped over their heads. The dust settles. On the wooden platform, Li Yunxiao and Old Duan are gone. Only a group of soldiers in blue-gray armor remain, standing bewildered. One stammers, "Yh, where's old Duan?" Another looks around frantically. And his brother? Where did both of them go? As confusion reigns, a massive, sinister purple form begins to rise from the shattered ground beneath them, wreathed in ominous blue and red energy. It lets out a guttural GHH, its crimson eyes locking onto the intruders, the ground quaking under its weight. High above the clouds, the massive green battleship, trailing fire, plummets through the storm amidst cries of H. Old Duan stands triumphant in the air, laughing wildly. "Ha ha! They deserve it! How dare they do this to me?" But Li Yunxiao remains ice calm. "Do you think I'm a ninth-tier refiner or something? With my current spirit power, I had to lay out an encryption and a universal mark in order for the explosion to work. Even then, I've depleted a large store of my spirit power." Old Duan's laughter dies. He salutes solemnly. "I'm really impressed. You saved me from the purple nine-striped moth, too. You have my respect. I owe my life to you. I'll remember that." Li Yunxiao's response is a cool warning. "Don't celebrate too early. We aren't done here. If I were you, I'd be healing myself now." They race down the storm-swept mountain path. Old Duan offers a pill, urging, "Take it for the fight ahead. With our speed and effort, we might escape." But Li Yunxiao stops dead, turning to face the way they came. "Who said anything about running?" Old Duan is aghast. "Are you mad? That's the purple nine-striped moth." A faint smile touches Li Yunxiao's lips. "I'm not running. I'm fighting. And I'm not alone." Old Duan is speechless. Li Yunxiao's voice turns cold, his eyes sharp. "I want to force that cold-blooded old fox Ma, Wendy, out of hiding. Let's see how long he can skulk in the shadows." Atop a solitary peak, the wind howls. Old Duan bellows across the chasm. "I'm furious. It's all your fault, you idiot. When I recover, I'll kick their asses." Li Yunxiao stands on the opposite crag, white robes whipping, his reply calm as still water. "The idiot is you." This fight was inevitable. Struck by the other's unshakable composure, a realization dawns on Old Duan, shaking him to his core. This demeanor, it can't be faked. Only one who has walked through mountains of corpses and seas of blood, who has faced death countless times, can forge a heart of a true master like this. The winds and clouds are in his hands. The world is his. Li Yunxiao hangs in the air, wreathed in golden lightning and violet energy, a deity descended. His hands move, and above him blazes a line of fiery golden text. "Winds and clouds in hand, the world is mine." Below, the purple dragon monster bursts from the watery abyss with a violet whoosh, a tidal wave of fury rising to meet him. Watching from afar, the white-bearded elder's heart clenches. His methods always surprise me. Maybe he does have a way to defeat this beast. Water fears fire, bloodline suppresses bloodline. Li Yunxiao's eyes burn with gold, his face alight with fierce excitement and absolute confidence. Above him, a phantom of a multicolored, true soul phoenix spreads its wings. He declares, "A water-based true spirit will naturally fear fire, let alone a projection with a breath of a true soul phoenix." This is the tier suppression between the strengths of beasts. With that, the colossal energy he commands condenses into a torrent of annihilation. Blue core, golden flame edges, and with a whoosh and a bang that shakes the world, it plummets toward the horrified head of the watery, purple dragon. And thus, it happened in the blink of an eye. Li Yunxiao raised his hand, and an overwhelming tide of violet energy roared forth, smothering the heavens and illuminating the ancient tower behind him. The violet nine-striped moth was caught before it could even twitch its wings. With a hiss and a swoosh, the deed was done. There he stood, a solitary figure upon a sea-swept rock, that strange purple device humming in his grasp. A slight, chilling smile played on his lips. The hunt was complete. And in his wake, the old sage with fiery red hair, clutching his skull, his mind fractured, could only scream silently into the void. What did he do? The sight had shattered his very reality. The boat erupted into chaos. Stunned expressions, wide eyes, and a flurry of question marks. What dis? Then, a pink-faced, top-hatted figure exploded from the crowd. "It's not a dream." Bam! In that instant, everyone saw through the fog. They finally understood Jia Rong's unwavering loyalty. The accusations followed like thunder. Three stern, rain-soaked elders pointed their swords, voices dripping with contempt. A martial lord is barely enough to be his follower? Isn't this brat getting too cocky? Young Master Yin is getting annoying now, don't you think? They spoke as if forgetting. Only a man like Jia Rong rejoiced when Li Yunxiao's true calm descended. Off to the side, a jester in motley colors felt the sting of mockery. Am I the clown here? Before he could finish, a white-haired man in a crimson cap roared. Then I have even less of a reason to hold back. The air went taut, ready to snap. This panel contains sponsor credits for the chapter. No narrative action. Now, back on the open sea, a different drama unfolded. A blue-haired man stood stunned. The sixth-tier sea beast, a creature he'd been willing to die fighting just moments ago, had been captured. Not slain, but taken, whole and unscathed. Captured so easily without any bloodshed. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Congratulations poured in for Brother Duan and young Master Yun on subduing the legendary violet nine-striped moth. Amidst the clamor, the young man they called young Master Yun simply stood there. His azure eyes flickered once, his lips curling into the faintest, most unsettling smile as he breathed a single syllable, "Or." That soft sound, so light, sent an ice-cold shiver down the blue-haired man's spine. But trouble, it seemed, had a knack for finding them. Over golden sands, two parties faced off, hostility thick in the air. One side demanded, "What does you coming have to do with us? Be on your way." The white-robed man in the center only chuckled a cold, sharp sound. "Ho ho, that's not quite right." In a blur, he was aloft, squaring off against a golden-haired man. A ring of 7 figures surrounded them below, the wind howling a whoosh of anticipation. The white-robed man's voice cut through the air. "Did you forget about the people who helped you along the way the moment you got your hands on?" A grim-faced, dark-haired youth watched silently from the sidelines. The white-haired, furious man opposite could only seethe, his silence of pure rage. A blue-masked figure in black robes turned to Brother Duan, his tone dripping with reason. "Think about it. If all 7 of us hadn't worked together, wasting most of the moth's energy, could the likes of you have tanked a strike from it without dying?" A red-haired woman smiled sweetly. "Duan, you just go along with it." Finally, the tiger-masked man laid down the terms with a sneer. "Split it into 7. We'll even let you pick first." The pressure was relentless, the squeeze absolute. The dispute over the spoils spilled out into the open air, a new round of bickering under the sun. Annie Tang, her pink hair flowing, jabbed a finger at Brother Ma. "You changed it from 8 shares to 7. Besides luring the moth, what else did you do?" Brother Ma puffed out his chest. "I contributed the most. I deserve an extra share." A golden-haired youth interjected, chiding Ma for being hasty and siding with Tang. Tang rewarded him with a playful wink, flustering the youth into a sweat, little hearts popping comically around his head. A dark-haired man with his back turned added his voice, agreeing to the 7-way split. Brother Ma was dumbfounded. Before he could protest, a young man holding a 3-legged cauldron stepped forward, his voice clear. "The one who captured the violet nine-striped moth was me. Does that earn me a share?" The shock on Brother Ma's and the old white-haired man's faces was a picture worth 1,000 words. Inside, under the warm lamplight, the words grew sharper. Someone mocked the dark-haired man. "You think you subdued it alone? You relied on our 7-star array." The man held his head high, pride flaring. "It was I who brought it down." A pink-haired woman glided over then, offering a Tier 3 profound artifact as a reward, a hint of something more in her eyes, captioned, helpfully, "PUA Master." The man waved her off with disdain. "The violet nine-striped moth is not something the likes of me can covet." Another scoffed at his sudden maturity, mentioning how his elder brother was gifting a precious bloodfish mushroom to a younger sibling. Finally, the dark-haired man thrust a finger towards the purple-gold tripod before them, his gaze turning blade-sharp. "I captured a living specimen," he declared, each word falling like a hammer blow. "Not a dead moth." There was no room for argument. That statement landed like a tidal wave. Stunned silence, then a ripple of shock across every face. Alive, a living violet nine-striped moth. That was an altogether different beast, literally and figuratively, possessing a true soul bloodline, capable of autonomous evolution. Its worth was incalculable. Greed flickered in some eyes to divide it to claim a piece. But the truth was hammered home. A dead specimen was trash compared to this. From a shadowed corner came a pained groan. The white-haired elder. Yet in the very next moment, that same elder sprang to his feet, arms raised high, booming with laughter. "Huh, such acts are dishonorable. For us hunters, trust is paramount. I, Hanya, would never commit such an immoral deed." The struggle and calculation of moments before were now cloaked in a mantle of righteous proclamation. The turnabout was breathtaking. Duan Yu groaned, clutching his head, as the blue-clad, eye-patched man pressed him. The 8-part pact. Do you honor it? Duan Yu could only manage an ugh. A blue-hatted man on their side spoke calmly. If someone could produce an item of equal worth to the moth, he'd yield his share. The white-haired elder scoffed. Who is that rich? But then he mused that if a bidder did appear, he might also yield, drawing soft laughter from the crowd. And speak of the devil. A magnificent flying skiff cut through the waves. Its arrival time to perfection. Aboard, a golden-haired man held up a talisman, from which a soft cyan light pulsed. A 6th-tier ancient soul talisman. This, he declared, can withstand a full-force strike from a 1-star martial emperor. Priceless. I offer it in exchange for a share of the moth's value. Who among you will trade? The people on the skiff stared in astonishment. Only Li Yunxiao's mind raced. The secret arts of the talisman sect, refining one's entire cultivation into a single, disposable charm. A gamble with a minute chance of success. These were legends across the Tianwu continent, made only by dying experts to protect their descendants. For such a thing to appear here, the implications were deep and dark. On the deck, the bargaining continued. Underworld stone was mentioned, a trade for a share. Comment followed that it was akin to heavenly obsidian jade, but inferior, the very thing that obliterated the Xingyang clan in a blast. Then talk turned to primordial stones as payment. The gray-haired man, a device crackling with violet lightning in his hand, interjected a warning. The violet 9-striped moth, it's already adapting to the phoenix energy suppression. It's on the verge of breaking free. Without missing a beat, he laid down an offer. I'll give the ancient soul talisman, plus 100,000 high-grade primordial stones, for your brother's shares. Deal. A stunned gasp ripped through the air. Really? The atmosphere on the deck tightened like a coiled spring. Li Yunxiao's attention snapped fully onto the speaker, while the faces around him shifted, each a mask of their own, calculating thoughts. On the high platform, the old white-haired elder's voice cut with finality. His Wort is my Wort. A clear, unequivocal show of support for Li Yunxiao. When Feng, the golden-haired youth, strode forward, he placed a purple, incense burner-like tripod into Li Yunxiao's hands. My elder brother's share is yours now. Take this cauldron. It's the peak of the 5th tier. The moment Li Yunxiao touched it, a shockwave of recognition rocked him. The energy within, it was identical to a supreme treasure from his past life. Seeing his expression, Wen Feng didn't hesitate. Out came a pair of dragon phoenix rings. These were my weapons when I was a martial emperor. Take them too. Call it compensation. The stunned shock on Li Yunxiao's face morphed instantaneously, seamlessly, into unadulterated delight. The change was instantaneous. With the trade concluded, the mighty vessel set sail, gliding through the majestic channel between two soaring, suspended pagodas, seabirds skimming the water below. The trade is done. This Tiger King battleship is a parting gift. Farewell. The farewells still hung in the air when the arrogant old man in yellowish-brown leather armor sought out Li Yunxiao by the rail. He eyed the young man appraisingly. Brat, how does someone like you come by multiple 5th-tier battleships? Such things aren't easily obtained. You're injured. Tend to that first. Li Yunxiao, slightly perplexed, replied simply, I did warn there might be a fight. The old man threw back his head and laughed. Huh, too many things happening. I nearly forgot about that. The laughter was hearty, but the words carried a subtle, unnerving edge. High above, a yellow beam of light swished through the cloud layers. One voice, calm and measured. I must head to the rainbow mist. But I'll need the moth for that. Another voice, seething with frustration, shot back. Huh? We've been resting too long? It's our turn now. Without another word, Li Yunxiao touched down on a wooden platform. Raising his right hand, a green-ringed array materialized with a soft ding, its lights swirling. He addressed the white-haired man in a yellow cape beside him. Encryption. It will hide us from most detection. At this distance, they have a hard time finding us. But the white-haired man was having none of it. He seized on the earlier point, his voice urgent. Why were you in such a hurry during the talisman exchange? What's your real plan? Li Yunxiao's brows knitted slightly. About what? Can't you speak clearly? Tell me, what underhanded scheme are you plotting this time? The tension between them pulled taut as a bowstring. Li Yunxiao pointed skyward. See, it's here. Duan Yu looked, and his face drained of color. It's the violet 9-striped moth. That's the direction they are in. No sooner were the words out than the sky convulsed. From roiling thunderclouds, a colossal form erupted, wreathed in crackling purple lightning, its roar shaking the very air. Roar. The moth, unchained. Panic erupted below. What happened? Amidst the chaos, a smirk played on Duan Yu's lips. He allowed a soft, contemptuous hyph. Someone whirled on him, accusing. Did you do that on purpose? Only then did he curse, damn, how ruthless. But from another vantage point, as the electrified moth stormed towards the location of the original six, laughter rang out. Huh, those six are in for it now. So it was true. Duan Yu had steered the unleashed beast, a living cataclysm, straight into the laps of his rivals. This panel is a chapter break cliffhanger, setting up the next action. Li Yunxiao's plot has succeeded. The unleashed beast is upon them. Against the storm of violet lightning and fury, can the six of them overpower it? The answer lies ahead. Night had fallen. The two sat on the stone steps of a high platform. Li Yunxiao, looking every bit the weary youth, lay back, hands behind his head, a mix of annoyance and exhaustion on his face. I'm just a one-star martial master, and you all expect me to casually handle six-tier beast? I lost my 5-line cauldron for it. The white-haired man in yellow beside him snorted. That old, broken tripod? Didn't Wenfeng repay you with the Dragon Phoenix rings? At that, Li Yunxiao sat up. Broken? That cauldron harnessed the power of the 5 elements. The peak of tier 5 treasures in Tianwu. And his tone turned pointed. It had already become one with me. It was a rebuke of the elder's ignorance and a quiet declaration of his own profound attainment. The old man was visibly shaken. You've mastered the divine refinement realm of the 5 elements cauldron? That 5-element tripod, Marshal Venerable from the auction? Li Yunxiao replied evenly. Oh, how did you know? No sooner had he spoken than battle erupted in the distance. A violet dragon coiled through the sky, accompanied by cacophonous booms and smacks, a storm of gold and violet energy clashing violently. The old man drifted into memory. Back then, at the Twilight Flame Empire branch, looking for an artificer, I browsed the catalog. I never imagined the one who won the bid was you. He looked up, all plain in his eyes. To comprehend it so fully, in such a short time, such talent, I doubt even I could match it. Li Yunxiao merely glanced at him, his tone flat. That is the difference between us. Then, his gaze shifted back to the escalating fray in the distance, a slight smile touching his lips. Relax and tend to your wounds. A fine show is about to begin. And what a show it was. The battle in the high clouds raged white-hot. Figures darted through the mist, the sound of ragged breaths, huff, everywhere. Voices roared in fury. Duan Yu, he dared set us up. They knew it with deadly certainty. Stand united or be annihilated here and now. On command, a symphony of ultimate techniques exploded forth. The white-haired elder rode a massive green crocodile, unleashing a bloody crocodile twin snip that painted the air with gore. A capped youth unfurled a scroll, the spring false skyward scroll radiating with golden sigils. A golden-haired brute bellowed, his agile tiger flame transforming into a blazing tiger's pounce. Finally, 2 swordsmen moved as one. The blue-clad one launched a dual-blade full strike, a torrent of sword light, while the pink-clad counterpart's blade sword, a soaring sword melding combustion fusing with it. Their combined strike shook the heavens themselves. Upon a high platform, the two sat watching. The old man shook his head, his tone almost conversational. 6 cunning old foxes, each scheming against the others. They've brought this on themselves. Li Yunxiao's expression suddenly sharpened. He turned on the elder. What pull did you give me? My injuries are healed. A flicker of surprise crossed the old man's face. The unease within Li Yunxiao grew, coiling tighter. I've got a bad feeling about this. He shot to his feet, eyes scanning the surroundings urgently. My universal detector isn't picking up anything at all. The hidden undercurrents beneath the apparent calm felt far more perilous than the spectacle in the sky. The old man sounded puzzled. Change of plans? Everything looks fine to me. It's all going to your plan. Li Yunxiao cut him off sharply. Old Duan, prepare to flee at any moment. There's been a change of plans. Even as he said it, confusion churned within him. His universal perception showed nothing. So why this overwhelming sense of doom? Was a greater sea beast lurking? The old man muttered, looks fine to me. But the blood had already drained from Li Yunxiao's face, his eyes wide with pure, unadulterated horror. For in the very next instant, the sea erupted. With a deafening smack, an immense, nightmarish purple sea beast exploded from the depths, glowing runes covering its hide, shrieking a piercing fee. Its maw gaped wide, targeting them directly. People screamed and scrambled back, the air filled with panicked exclamation marks. The true calamity had just unveiled its fangs. The violet 9-striped beast roared with fury, its power shaking the heavens. Gu Feiyang, Now Li Yunxiao didn't even move. With a flick of his finger, an unseen force shot out. Before the beast could react, it struck its heart. The monster didn't scream. It simply exploded, a shockwave of violet energy annihilating everything in its path, scattering warriors and ships alike. Meanwhile, in Verdant Seaport, a different hunt unfolds. Guardian Hung Yuan of the Star Mansion sect has set his sights on a rare violet-striped moth, a perfect ingredient for a gift to his sect master. But shadows watch him. Old Hanya steps forward, his voice cutting through the night. Your aura fluctuates, he observes coolly. Peak 6 directions realm, pretending at the 7 of the elite station here. Only 2 9-star martial grandmasters fit the bill. Are you one of them? With his cover blown, Hung Yuan shed all pretense. A vicious grin split his face. Since you know me, Dai. He moved, not a step but a surge. His palms strike tore through the air, churning the waters into a furious vortex aimed to swallow Hanya whole. The full, terrifying power of a peak realm master unleashed. As the vortex descended, a cold voice cut through the chaos from above. By order of sect master Su Feng, I, Li Yu and you, claim your lives? A figure descended amidst a glowing purple array, twin blades flashing like falling stars. Her attack was precise, merciless, aiming to ensnare both Hung Yuan and Hanya in a net of certain death. Chaos erupted. Cornered martial artists cried out, "We only sought the moth. Why slaughter us?" The bald commander overseeing the purge chuckled darkly. You've all made names for yourselves. Master Su Feng wishes no loose ends. He waved a hand. Finish it. As his subordinates moved to obey, his keen eyes narrowed, looking past the immediate fray. To remain outside our web. Cut back to Li Yunxiao. The aftermath of his violet 9-stripe strike was nothing compared to the shockwaves he caused at the Tianshui Emperor's election. A flashback replay shows him casually tossing out a figure, 1 or 200 million, leaving the entire assembly utterly dumbfounded. His golden-haired rival's face is a mask of sheer terror, his mind screaming, "How do you spell common sense? Shouldn't deceive people of Tianwu." The caption says it all. Li Yunxiao breaks a 4-star martial lord. Caught in 1080p. This sent the 4th-tier refiner who'd hoped to take him as a disciple into a rage. A mere 4th-tier trash refiner wants to take me as his disciple. His cool facade shattered completely, revealing gnashing teeth and a fury so intense it seemed to glow behind him. The crowd erupted. Li Yunxiao. Lord Yunxiao. The solemn selection ceremony devolved into a large-scale Li Yunxiao acting cool showcase. Gu Feiyang's old poem was now a live demonstration of applied dramatic arts. Scanlation group credits page. No narrative. Back to the main thread. Li Yunxiao and his companion Duan Yu raced along a narrow cliffside path. Storm clouds broiled above, rain lashing down. Without warning, a thick beam of violet light tore through the downpour and exploded on the path ahead. Duan Yu paled. We're done for. A peak martial grandmaster ambush. He stole a glance at Li Yunxiao, his heart freezing further. This kid, he knows we're in dire straits. So why does he look utterly calm? Not a trace of fear. The roar of the pursuing warship grew deafeningly close. Duan Yu, desperate, hissed, "He's almost on us. If you strike with everything you have, how confident are you to wound him?" Li Yunxiao's gaze remained fixed ahead, his voice unsettlingly calm. If the hit lands, killing him is uncertain. Crippling him is likely. Duan Yu gritted his teeth. Deal. When he's 10 meters from the ship, I'll bind him for an instant. You strike. Start gathering your power now. The pursuer was upon them. The peak grandmaster roared with laughter at their stand. Still resisting? But Duan Yu exploded into motion. His chi surged violently. With a guttural shout, white flame ghostly killer, unseal. Blue infernos erupted from his back. His power spiked, momentarily shattering the limits of his realm. The violet-armored grandmaster was taken aback. A 7 constellations realm master's full power strike. Even I must brace. He gathered his defensive energy and took the hit. He weathered it, but his blood chi churned. Enraged, he turned his glare on Li Yunxiao. Bastard whelp, for your father Duan Yu's sake, join the Star Mansion sect, and I'll spare you. Refuse, and you can bury him yourself. The words hung in the air. Before Li Yunxiao could react, Duan Yu's eyes blazed with fury. But the violet-armored warrior was already moving. Palms thrust forward, he bellowed. Universal Spirit Suppressor. Exile. A torrent of purple energy, heavy with sealing power, flooded the space toward them. A cold light flashed in Li Yunxiao's eyes. Instead of evading, he unleashed the vast mental power within his sea of consciousness. Mental technique. Instantly, a bloody starscape seemed to unfold. Countless eerie crimson eyes opened in the darkness, all fixing their gaze upon the violet-armored foe. The violet-armored warrior's head rang, as if struck by a giant hammer. Shock and fury warred within him. Illusions? Petty tricks? How can mere illusions hurt a 9-star martial grandmaster? I'll rip it apart. He roared, unleashing his full chi in a desperate attempt to shred the psychic prison engulfing him. The endless world? He'd tear it to pieces. The mental duel was perilous, but the physical clash was brutal. Seizing the moment his foe was distracted, Duan Yu unleashed his ultimate technique. White Flame Ghostly Killer, 6 Evils Halberd. A massive halberd of cyan energy materialized, howling with phantom screams, and slammed down. The violet warrior blocked hastily, but the force sent him flying backward, crashing through multiple stone outcrops. The blow cost Duan Yu everything. He and the golden-armored Hanya collapsed to one knee, spent. Their foe, the violet warrior, though grievously wounded, wasn't dead. He staggered to his feet, face bloodied, eyes brimming with deeper venom. He swallowed a crimson pill, a treasured 6-tier saint medicine, and his aura surged violently once more. Today you both die. But at the exact moment he consumed the pill and his power erupted, a strange shift occurred. Li Yunxiao, along with Duan Yu and Hanya, vanished into thin air. Only 2 gold ingots plopped into the water below. The violet warrior stood frozen. His omniscient sense had been locked onto them. How could they just disappear? Li Yunxiao had prepared a backup plan. He'd covertly released the rainbow mist, a fog laced with mind-corrosive pink crystal dust. The violet warrior, unaware, charged right in. Instantly, he was trapped, blinded, his senses in disarray. From deep within the mist, Li Yunxiao's calm voice drifted out. Rookie, use your mental power to block the dust. When the mist cleared, the trio was elsewhere, safe for now. Duan Yu, his mental energy depleted, slumped to the ground. He hissed at Li Yunxiao, quick, spirit recovery pills. Li Yunxiao, however, sat comfortably, pulling out a vial. Master Duan, a 7-star grandmaster like you, with all your plunder, surely you kept some good recovery pills? I have some. But, he grinned, I'll trade for the 4th tier or higher demon pills on you. Duan Yu's eyes bulged. Highway robbery. Li Yunxiao simply dropped a large, clinking sack in front of him. 76 for 100. A fair deal. If you pass out, the deal's accepted. Duan Yu stared at the sack, his breath hitched, and true to form, he fainted dead away. The silver-haired elder's rage reached its peak. He slammed the wine gourd to the ground, unleashing a torrent of curses upon the duplicitous merchant. His foul deal? He not suffer it lightly. Sponsor acknowledgement page. No negative. Elsewhere, Li Yunxiao and the burly white-haired man had escaped via the rainbow fog, alighting upon a floating platform. A perfect spot, Li Yunxiao remarked, calm as ever. The man began to boast, but Li Yunxiao cut him off. In that instant, his spiritual sense unfurled like quicksilver, and his eyes narrowed. Too late. Their small vessel had barely steadied when danger erupted from the abyssal depths. A thunderous splash. The water exploded as scores of blue-skinned warriors, tails lashing and tridents gleaming, surged from the dark to encircle the lone boat. Their chieftain led the charge, horns proud, eyes glowing like red coals. He leveled his massive trident, his voice a rolling thunderclap. Damned landwalkers! You dare trespass upon our domain? Surrender now, or face immediate annihilation. The water itself trembled with murderous intent. From Li Yunxiao's group, a dark-haired youth hastily bowed. Forgive us, mighty warriors of the sea. We mean no harm. We merely fled for our lives and lost our way. Capture us if you must, but we beg you, spare our lives. His pleas were met with a cold sneer from the chieftain. Trespass is a death sentence. Seize them. Steal met flesh, a desperate situation. A seafolk warrior thrust a purple pellet toward a captive youth's face. The boy's mind raced. Asterisk, a water-warding pill? A treasure. If they meant to kill us, why waste it? Asterisk, amidst mortal peril, a seed of doubt took root. The captives were marched toward a deep-sea prison. Trapped in a watery sphere, Li Yunxiao grinned, proposing friendship to their stern guard. The seafolk commander's face was ice. Friends? Your kind is unworthy. Then came the revelation. Not long ago, a powerful human invaded, wounding 3 of our leaders. The whole tribe is in an uproar. Your arrival now is no coincidence. In the ocean's depths, Li Yun Zhao's probing bore fruit. The Seafolk commander, speaking freely, laid bare his tribe's vulnerabilities. The Blazefish tribe was a fifth-tier power propped up by a single, aging one-star martial emperor. With their pillars wounded and no successor ready, the entire tribe teetered on the brink. Hearing fifth-tier tribe and martial emperor, Li Yun Zhao's heart sank. Trouble. Yet his face betrayed nothing. The Seafolk commander, noticing his shift, grew instantly wary. "You ask so many questions. Are you spying on us?" he roared. The trident's prongs hovered a hair's breadth from his nose. Li Yun Zhao cried out, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The one who wounded your leaders is my sworn foe as well. We share a common hatred. Are we not natural allies?" The shout gave the commander pause. His weapon hung in the air, undriven. Seeing his hesitation, Li Yun Zhao pressed his advantage. The Seafolk commander let out a long sigh, revealing their dire straits. The old chieftain neared his end. Their strongest leader, Tai Fan, a newly minted 9-star martial grandmaster, lacked the time to breach the emperor realm before the chieftain's passing. Failure meant the Blazefish tribe's fall from the 5th tier, a doom they could not accept. Li Yun Shou, Snaratin Waterly. Asterisk fools. A few words, and you've handed me your weaknesses. Asterisk he calculated swiftly. The invader who wounded 3 Blazefish leaders must also be gravely injured. Now, the only intact combat power in this undersea tribe was likely their dying old martial emperor. The colossal sea city loomed ahead, a spectacle of flowing light and coral spires, utterly alien. The procession marched toward the central palace. Li Yun Zhao lifted his gaze, his plan solidifying. The key to escape lies within that undersea court. Panel is promotional material for another series, unrelated to main narrative. Sponsor acknowledgement page. Non-native. Upon entering the Seafolk metropolis, a dazzling sight greeted them. The streets were not filled with vendors, but with troops of Seafolk children, baskets laden with glowing purple crystals on their backs, scurrying to and fro. Li Yun Zhao recognized them at once. Primal crystals, the foundation of Seafolk cultivation. The Seafolk commander, Tai Fei, strutted proudly, ordering Li Yun Zhao's group to haul the crystals, boasting his vessel's strength equaled 100 men. Li Yun Zhao siga inwaterly. A farewell to my last Tiger King ship. Then, Tai Fei's command rang out, "Follow me to see the tribe leader." The path ahead led to the deep-sea court, a dragon's pool, a tiger's den. The deep-sea palace was a fortress of solemn majesty. Within its water-repelling barrier, not a drop remained. Coral pillars, pearl lamps. At the hall's far end, a figure sat upon a throne of shell, his aura spreading like an ocean tide. Tai Bin, leader of the Blazefish tribe. Tai Fei stepped forward. "Tribe leader, we have captured 2 humans beyond our borders." His voice echoed. The figure on the throne slowly lifted his gaze. 2 shards of glacial ice. They pierced the captives below. That single look chilled one to the bone. The true trial began now. The battle moves to the depths. Within the hall of the Blazefish tribe, the blue-skinned chieftain sits upon his throne, eyes gleaming with suspicion. A subordinate reports, 2 humans, claiming a deep hatred for their own kind, have been captured. The chieftain's roar echoes. Lies. Not a single good seed among humans. Drag them out. Feed them to the fish. The order is absolute. The 3 captives, 1 blue-haired, 1 purple-haired youth, and a white-haired elder, burn with silent fury at the insult. But as the purple-haired youth is hurled into the water, he doesn't sink. He erupts from the depths, wreathed in azure power. "Feed me? Drop the act. I'm wiping this Blazefish tribe off the map today." Before the words fade, he's already moving. A fist connects with a blue-haired warrior's face, sending him reeling amidst a spray of water. And so the fight explodes. The blue-haired warrior bellows, "How dare you disrespect the chieftain?" His weapon becomes a blur, a lance of blue energy spearing toward the blonde warrior. The blonde warrior stands his ground, aura flaring, but the impact makes him grunt, pushing him back. The fisherman presses the attack, strikes coming like a raging storm. Asterisk swish. Bam! Asterisk a final, brutal slam sends the blonde warrior crashing into the ground with a thunderous BM, clearly overpowered. Seeing his companion in peril, the purple-haired youth reveals his fangs. He blurs into the fray, palms unleashing a tidal wave of azure force that hurls 2 attackers away with a scream. "Yuwa!" This finally draws the chieftain's full attention. The crowned, white-robed giant flares with terrifying light, his voice a thunderclap. How dare you? You two have a death wish. Another devastating shock wave rips forth. But instead of retreating, the youth and the elder stand firm. The youth's voice cuts coldly through the chaos. I told you to drop the act. You are a martial emperor, but you can only muster one full-strength attack. The elder adds, just one. The youth's gaze pierces the chieftain like a blade. Your failing body can't hide from me. You're hanging by a thread. Attack us, and you die with us. The words strike true. Shock ripples across the chieftain's Piscine features. What? After a heavy pause, a note of weary defeat enters his voice. Human, you are not wrong. I cannot last much longer. But fury quickly resurfaces. But if you threaten the Blaze Fish tribe, I will kill you without hesitation. The youth scoffs. Threaten? We came with no ill intent. You were the one who wanted us dead on sight. I hate being threatened more than anything. The chieftain weighs his options, then growls, apologize. Show sincerity, or I kill your friend first. Instead of cowering, the youth takes a step forward, his gaze hawk-sharp. Kill him? And how many experts will be left to protect your tribe then? Tension coils like a spring. Suddenly, a roar cuts the standoff. Human die. The blue-haired warrior, Tai Fei, ignores his chieftain's words and launches himself from above, his foot cracking the ground as he aims for the youth's back. Tai Fei, stop! Another fisherman cries out. Tai Fei halts his killing blow but glares fiercely. Human, since you have no ill intent, just leave. Never enter Blaze Fish territory again. The youth turns slowly, facing this hostage situation with unnerving calm. A slight smile touches his lips. Chieftain, his eyes shift from Tai Fei, who holds the elder, to the distant leader. Your man is loyal. I'll give him that. But I have two things to say. Li Yunxiao, Gu Feiyang, holds up two fingers, his voice clear and steady. First, you're letting us go not out of mercy, but because you've calculated the cost of killing us is too high. Second, I'm not leaving. I'm here to make you a deal. Shock ripples through the chamber. The chieftain booms with rage. A deal? On what grounds? Li Yunxiao's smile widens. On these grounds, I can extend your life by 100 years. And I can push your warrior Tai Fan here, straight through to Martial Emperor. What? Martial Emperor? The words detonate like thunder. The chieftain surges to his feet, energy writhing around him. What did you say? Do you know the price of lying to us? A swoosh of terrifying pressure fills the room. Li Yunxiao doesn't flinch beneath the crushing pressure. Ho ho, a win-win situation. The chieftain's eyes bore into him. You know about the Congo divine tree. The red-haired female warrior gasps. That's what you're after? The Congo divine tree. The chieftain's voice is a low rumble, a final test. You claim that with it, you can extend life and create an emperor. Li Yunxiao's reply is iron. Exactly. A long, heavy silence hangs. Finally, the chieftain sinks back onto his throne. He gestures to the blue-haired warrior. Tai Fei, tell these two humans our current situation. Yes, the order is given. A negotiation for survival, laced with human cunning, begins. Li Yunxiao lays out his plan. Chieftain, let me infiltrate the Razor Clam tribe and retrieve the tree. Succeed, and I'll fulfill my promise. Extend your life by a century. The chieftain refuses. My tribe cannot take that risk. Tai Fei steps forward. I will go, but Li Yunxiao shifts his aim, locking eyes with the chieftain. No, my condition is this. I retrieve your tree, and you help me. Make Tai Fan a martial emperor. Another shockwave. Before the chieftain can respond, a furious, draconic roar shatters the moment. A purple sea dragon beast smashes through a seal, charging into the hall. Chieftain, don't listen to his *T. It howls, aiming straight for Li Yunxiao. The tense peace shatters, exploding once more into violent conflict. End of chapter. How will this chaos unfold? Witness the fury of the Blazefish tribe's 9-star martial grandmaster, Tai Fan, as troubles rise one after another. The stage is set. Treasure in the abyss, wits against fins, danger at every turn. The storm is far from over. Li Yunxiao and Master Yun find themselves in the heart of a deep-sea maelstrom. Above, promotional art proclaims gathered heroes. Below, raging currents and lethal intent churn. A mysterious, red-haired foe with a golden mask moves within the starry abyss. With a swing of his staff, he churns the sea itself, the impact resonating with a deep, ominous dong. Li Yunxiao stands to the side, purple hair tied back, his gaze as deep and calm as the trench, silently observing this violent theater of war. In a smaller panel, the foe shifts his assault, piercing through a massive sphere of water with a sharp TCHKK. A fierce maritime clash, heralding the coming deluge. The scene shifts to a tempest. A battlefield of churning waters erupts into chaos. In one panel, a white-haired warrior with an orange headband raises his weapon with a furious rise, a colossal splash erupting beneath him. The main view shows a brawny man in white riding the crest of a wave, looking down upon the fray. Coral shatters. Warriors struggle in the surge. Spears and axes flash amidst the spray. In the corner, the white-haired enemy grins wildly, while a golden-masked figure with a crimson eye glares with pure malice. Below, a red-armored warrior is engulfed by a towering wave, shouting desperately, "Tai Fan, stop!" Across from him, a masked face reveals shock and rage in a close-up. A hurricane of violence upon the sea. Beyond the battlefield, undercurrents of intrigue run deep. A spear flies with a whoosh, forcing a red-haired warrior to block, grunting from the impact. Elsewhere, the blue-skinned chieftain argues with his subordinates. The red-haired woman urges, "Chieftain, please, don't let these humans trick you." But the chieftain is firm. "I have my certainties. Follow my orders." A masked figure chimes in. Fan is right. The view then jumps to a massive merman-like being, Tai Ling, daughter of Marine refiner Tai Pin. It roars, "Don't get tricked by humans," as a white-clad woman runs toward it. Finally, a high-angle shot. The chieftain and two aides face three humans. "What are we scared of?" the chieftain asks. An aide worries. "If we miss this chance, we might be devoured by the Razor Clam tribe." The chieftain's ambition burns bright. "Once I rank up to a third-tier marine refiner, who in this region would dare oppose us?" Amidst the coral reefs, the debate intensifies. A pink-haired, blue-skinned female refiner states gravely, "Even with great talent, breaking through from second to third tier would take at least a century." The sea folk listen, faces grim. They debate the differences between marine and human refiners and the ever-present threat of the Razor Clam tribe. Among them, the black-haired youth, Li Yun Xiao, has a flame of resolve kindling in his eyes. "A century? I won't wait that long," he thinks. A memory flashes. An elder with a fishtail, a hoverbat chieftain, speaking of ancient intertribal pacts. The crisis looms, making every choice a matter of survival. In the underwater sanctuary, the argument turns fever-pitched. The pink-haired woman argues for logic, for appealing to the South Sea King. The burly, blue-haired masked man roars his rebuttal. "This world runs on pure power, not reasoning. The weak can only cling to the strong." A red-haired warrior scoffs. "What good are the South Sea King's commands? Power is everything," the masked man snarls. Then Li Yunxiao steps forward, his voice cutting through. "I object to insults." His gaze sweeps the assembly. "The Razor Clam tribe. They aren't native to these waters, are they?" A bestial warrior with fins and fangs snarls, baring his teeth. "They hail from the East Sea, originally a second-rate tribe, but their strength now far surpasses ours. At this rate, they'll crush us completely in a few years. The law of the deep, devour or be devoured, is laid bare." The discussion veers into bloody history. An elder sea folk tells the black-haired youth, "The Razor Clam tribe. Once they were mighty, a tribe of martial sovereigns. But they were ordered to hunt down a single human, and..." The scene violently shifts to a memory of carnage. A figure wreathed in yellow light carves through a sky raining blood and the corpses of powerhouses. Below, the white-haired master Yin rages, "The murderer! How cruel!" Li Yunxiao listens, his expression grave. But when the words "ordered to hunt a human" and East Sea are spoken, a bolt of recognition strikes him. His inner voice thunders. 30 years ago, the East Sea, a forgotten massacre, a familiar grievance from Gu Feiyang's past, now intertwines eerily with the fate of these deep-sea tribes. Gu Feiyang. The name drops like a stone, freezing the underwater air. A black-haired youth's face contorts with sweat and fury. That's right, that cursed human, Gu Feiyang. Behind him, a monstrous, white-haired visage labeled "the definition of heaven's cruelty" seems to claw from the memory. But a blue-haired youth smiles calmly. Gu Feiyang? A name that stains the honor of all sea folk. So many years, he's probably dead. Why cling to hatred? A flame-masked figure glares. "We should always look ahead, yeah? Only that can cleanse the stain on our name." Another snorts. "Even if he's dead, find his descendants. Kill them all." A whisper follows. "I heard he died before even bearing child." Hatred, fear, apathy swirl together. A black-haired sea woman cuts in. "Let's change the topic. Discuss how to get inside the Congo." The crowned one, Tai Ling, scrutinizes Li Yunxiao. You claim you can extend life and create an emperor. Shouldn't you show some skill? Others chime in, yeah, we can't just take your word for it. Li Yunxiao spreads his hands, a faint, teasing smirk on his lips. The test has arrived. On a seaside platform, Li Yunxiao faces the pink-purple-haired sea maiden with coral-like horns, Tai Ling. She declares with pride, I am the only second-tier marine reef finder here. If you lose, I lead the mission. Li Yunxiao remains unflustered. What a coincidence. I'm a reef finder too. Consider this taming you blaze fish. His casual tone hides an edge. Your choice of contest. Anything but swimming. Tai Ling bristles. You dare look down on me? She fires back. Then a simple refinement contest. Whoever produces the higher quality wins. With waves crashing and sea folk watching, a duel of skill and authority is set to begin at the water's edge. Li Yunxiao says coolly, sure, don't play coy when you lose. Tai Ling scoffs. Sea folk are quick, but we won't lose. My name is Tai Ling. The chieftain's roar interrupts. Tai Ling, enough of this lead role act. This match is for the Blazefish tribe's honor. Use your true skill, your flame manipulation. Tai Ling is taken aback. My flame manipulation is chosen. Nearby, Li Yunxiao mutters to Master Yun. Aren't sea folk afraid of fire? Their refiners use substitutes. Is she not afraid of being grilled? The chieftain booms at Li Yunxiao. Human, do you dare accept this challenge? Li Yunxiao's lips curve. Sure, I accept. I like to see how a human manipulates flame. The chieftain states the terms. If you win, you lead. A confident smile spreads across Tai Ling's face. A duel of fire is ignited. End of chapter. To review the standoff. Two armored figures exchange cold smiles, currents of tension flowing between them. Master Yun asks worriedly, Young Master Yun, is there really no problem? Li Yunxiao laces his fingers behind his head, lazy yet brimming with absolute confidence. If I don't cause accidents, accidents happen to me. Seeing the elder's confusion, he grins fiercely, a sharp light in his eyes. I take accidents into account, so I can destroy them all. Bold letters proclaim, strength forbids modesty, but breeds explosive confidence. A final flashback. A cartoonish child Li Yunxiao, Gu Feiyong, with dice on his head stand among other kids. The caption drives it home. A high-end player only needs the most direct way to get rich. Taking your stuff back doesn't count as robbery. The stage is set. Reborn to stand above all, confidence shattering heavens and earth. Who will triumph in the duel of flames? Tune in next time. The Apothecary Association members, normally so proud, were struck dumb by the mere presence of the Pill Tower, their faces pale with dread. Meanwhile, Li Yunxiao's ascension was the talk of the land, from a 5-star warrior to the peak of 9 stars in mere days. The news sent shockwaves, disbelief echoing through the crowds. Standing bold, shades on, Li Yunxiao laid out his terms. Resources, a sect of one's own, and endless supplies. A kingmaker's offer, open and grand. But in the shadows of the thunderstorm, a cloaked figure felt a prickling sense of being watched. The stolen power had limits. The borders of the Ducrane Empire might be closed to him forever. And a certain golden-haired cub? It just blinked at a mountain of treasure, utterly baffled by its sudden, absurd fortune. Now then, let us shift the tale for a moment, not to speak of blades or fire, but to acknowledge the patrons who make these stories heard. Their names are listed here, their support a silent cornerstone. And for those with skill to lend, the call is open. Reset Scan seeks all hands, paid or volunteer. Now, with that said, let us return to the heart of the storm, where greater perils and wonders await. The scene shifts to a grand palace hall. A white-haired elder faces a figure with dark hair and crimson eyes, wreathed in circling phoenixes of flame, an aura of undeniable majesty about him. The elder sputters. I merely asked a question. Must you posture so? Even the air around you is stylish. The man replies with a calm smile. No, it is the light of respect. Unfazed, a warrior in blue steps forward. Let us compete within this palace. You set the terms. Li Yunxiao's Leapskuru. Fire manipulation is about precision and strength. I will demonstrate a sequence. If you can replicate it, move for move, you win. If you cannot. But the battleground was not on land. It was in the crushing depths of the ocean. A crystalline palace, a sea king upon his throne, flanked by Piscean attendants. Li Yunxiao stood alone, his blue hair swaying in the currents. A cold smirk touched his mind. To be looked down upon by a school of fish, his finger lifted. If I don't show them something good, they'll start thinking they're special. Watch closely, he commanded. A spark leapt from his fingertip. And then, boom! A eruption of crimson fire tore through the watery abyss. Spray and cinders flew, blasting a woman commander backward, her face a mask of shock. Li Yunxiao wielded a breathtaking technique, using water element qi as a sheath to contain and shape the raging fire within. He thrust his palms forward, and the flame didn't scatter. It coalesced into a vast, intricate runic array, unfurling in the deep with a thunderous whoosh. The water churned with the released energy. This was fire control of impossible finesse. The onlookers were stricken dumb. A white-haired elder, a lifetime fire cultivator himself, trembled inwardly. Asterisk, I have only ever thought of increasing its power. I have never even dreamed of controlling it like this. Asterisk, that did it. He'd stirred the hornet's nest. The deep-sea denizens, furious and fearful, unleashed their full might. The water filled with raging pink and orange energy, and a violet-clad commander released a cataclysmic wave of power. From below, a panic scream cut through. He's a god. This isn't playing around. This is ridiculous. A crowned elder and a helmeted warrior cried out as one. Heavens! Is he still human? Amid the chaos, Li Yunxiao's profile appeared, a placid smile on his lips, a silent, mocking chuckle, and then the most violent tide of energy crashed down. The fray intensified. A blue-skinned, horned adversary took a solid blow, blood trickling down his cheek. He swallowed the pain, his eyes igniting with fervor instead. A fierce grin spread. Human refiners are as amazing as I thought. Magnificent, he roared. Such precise motions are new to me, but not impossible. Nearby, the blue-haired observer nudged his pink-haired companion. Did you see that? Your turn now. The woman took a steadying breath. Step, step. She advanced with utmost caution across the blue-grid floor, enemies on all sides, an elder watching from on high. Then, asterisk, 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 GOM, asterisk, 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 a column of fire erupted. Her focus snapped tight. The true trial had begun. Outside, a storm raged, wind and rain lashing, lightning splitting the sky. With her back to the world, her white robes whipping in the gale, Tai Ling threw her head back and roared. Palms thrust skyward, she unleashed a pillar of blinding, incandescent flame that tore upward against the storm. Whoosh bam! The fire blast lit the rainy night like noon. The two blue-skinned, beast-eared foes below watched in abject terror. Tai Ling, they gasped. And Tai Ling herself, eyes shut tight, sweat beading her brow, compressed every ounce of her power into her palms. This was no mere strike. It was a last, desperate gamble. The battle fire had spread to the mountains. A golden-haired warrior dropped into a deep stance, flames erupting at his feet, framing him like a gilded war god. Then, asterisk, 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 boom! A detonation of red and blue light blasted an opponent through the air, their protective golden aura shattering. A pink-skinned woman with purple hair and curling horns watched, a mix of dread and thrill twisting her face into a sharp grin. And nearby, three spectators, an elder, a youth, and a demon-faced being, stood in unison, jaws agape with a collective, drawn-out woa. And at the heart of it all, the violet-haired enemy commander, berserk with rage, wreathed in chain explosions, launched his final, furious assault. Three bizarrely armored foes had Li Yunxiao surrounded, their arrogance palpable. The leader, white-haired and azure plate, sneered, Human, we've seen your tricks. Show us everything you've got. Trapped in the center, Li Yunxiao didn't flinch. A playful, almost pitying smile touched his lips. What surprise, ho-ho. It seems your talent doesn't match mine. A purple-helmeted, red-haired enemy snarled. Enough boasting. I'll show you the pinnacle of fire control. If you can copy this, I yield. Yellow flames wreathed him. But in the next instant, the very ground beneath them erupted into a far more terrifying sea of fire. Whoosh boom! The smugness on the enemy's faces vanished, swallowed whole by sheer, unadulterated terror. Watch closely. The command rang out across the battlefield. A figure shot skyward, wrapped in crimson lightning and fire. The white-haired elder was frozen, jaw slack, wreathed in dancing golden flames, utterly overwhelmed by the divine pressure. Below, the pink-haired woman and two swordsmen watched in horror, their grips on their weapons faltering. And then, at the field's edge, two flower-laden trees moved. One bloomed in silent, sudden glory. The other exploded with a thunderous boom. This was no mere technique. It was a phenomenon, a command over the very fabric of the world. A miracle unfolded. Before the onlookers' eyes, the sea of fire was gone. In its place stood an endless forest, every tree sculpted from living flame, each branch unique, each form vibrantly, terrifyingly alive. Pink and blue petals swirled like rain amidst the blaze, a dance of destruction and vibrant life. A trembling voice asked, Is this still fire manipulation? Another, entranced, whispered in awe, although the sculpting of each tree isn't as precise as before. This is a forest, and every tree has a different shape. It's so lifelike. Li Yunxiao's act, transforming annihilation into creation, bordered on the divine. I have the 100 birds. The only thing I need now is the phoenix. Li Yunxiao declared, his voice rolling like thunder, the artifact named King's instrument gleaming in his grasp. Against a violet and crimson sky, fiery birds swarmed. The tribe chief lay struck down, aides crying, Chief. But a sharp command cut through. It's not over yet. Keep your eyes open. Li Yunxiao's gaze locked on a Tai Ling. Tai Ling, watch this. If you can do this, I will accept my loss. What I want to imitate is the phoenix's advent of 100 birds. The instrument in his hand blazed with light. Tai Ling, drenched in cold sweat, could only think it's still not over. The pressure was still climbing. The advent of 100 birds. The divine phoenix descended. Li Yunxiao, crimson hair whipping, face marked with blood, shone with stellar intensity. The colossal fire phoenix merged with him, its wings spread promising incineration. From below came a soft, reverent clap of hands. But within he knew the limit. I can only condense a phantom of the phoenix. Yet it was enough. The attacking azure dragon energy shattered before the phoenix's true fire, consumed into nothingness. The contest was decided in that single, brilliant instant. A breakthrough, smooth as flowing water. Li Yunxiao sat suspended, a clear ding, ringing above him, blue and yellow auras swirling. Oh, have I become a 2-star great martial master? About time, he mused, pleased. But the scene shifted violently, plunging into abyssal depths. He looked around. Seaweed swayed, coral forest stood, and surrounding him were colossal, slumbering stone statues, mountain-sized and ancient. What are you guys doing? He blurted, bewildered. His confusion had no time to settle. Combat called. In a flash, he was upon a white-haired elder, fists smashing into his chest. Bang! Stone shards flew. The elder screamed as he was hurled back. Li Yunxiao's expression was ice. This strike held no mercy. Master Yin, you're a god. A brawny, white-bearded elder with golden hair trembled with overwhelming emotion, tears streaming, looking ready to prostrate himself on the spot. I want to get down on my knees before you, he wailed, crying like a child. All eyes turned to the center. There, the chief of the Blazefish tribe, a massive, blue-skinned man with crimson adornments, had already dropped to his knees with a heavy thud. His tribespeople watched, stunned. One burning question hung in the air. Why did the Blazefish tribe chief kneel? Was it utter submission, or was there something far deeper, far more shocking at play? Within the icy palace, the atmosphere froze solid. The massive tribal chief dropped to his knees before Li Yunxiao with a resounding thud. 3 young tribespeople cried out, Chief, Father. 2 young men rushed forward, confused. Tribe chief, what is this? Whoa, you didn't have to actually kneel. The chief's eyes blazed. He roared, all 3 of you kneel. Kulme, kneel. From further back, gasps arose. The holy emissary. Holy emissary. In a heartbeat, the hierarchy was upended, leaving everyone bewildered. Li Yunxiao was baffled. Asterisk holy emissary? Who, me? Furry. Asterisk the blue-skinned folk stared at him with burning intensity. Their chief was shaking with emotion. Holy emissary, I never dreamed I'd live to see you. Before Li Yunxiao could react, the chief lunged forward, a massive hand swinging in a friendly, yet powerful, asterisk 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 smack, asterisk 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 against his shoulder. Li Yunxiao grunted. Then, a sly grin spread across his face. A plan formed. Adopting a roguish tone from some deep memory, he teased, IC, IP, IQ card, give me your passwords. Then, turning serious, he added, Holy emissary? You might not know what that is. Time to stir the pot and see what truth floated to the surface. Seeing Li Yunxiao play oblivious, the chief pressed, Do you know the origin of our Blazefish tribe? A glint entered Li Yunxiao's eyes. Your tribe is no true soul descendant. Yet you are no ordinary sea folk, he began slowly. Tell me, do you know the origin of the Congo divine tree? At their stunned silence, he unraveled a secret lost to time. In ancient days, a true soul phoenix underwent nirvana. The tree it perched upon burned in the sacred flames, only to be reborn from the ashes again and again. That tree became the divine Congo. The phoenix's Nhoi Jur Hua accidentally fell upon your ancestor. Bathed in sacred fire, he did not die. His senses sharpened, he craved flame, his body transformed. He ascended the martial path, becoming a martial venerable, lifting your people from common sea dwellers to a mighty power. He paused, a phantom of a phoenix flickering around him. And within me flows a strand of that true phoenix fire. The chief trembled, overcome. A tribesman whispered in awe, I never knew any of this. A sealed chapter of their history, a bond of blood and flame, was laid bare. Deep in the ocean abyss, within the Blazefish tribe's ancestral hall, the air is thick with despair. A young warrior slams his fist, voice cracking. Elder, for 10,000 years, not a soul in our tribe has ascended to the nine heavens realm. Why? The blue-bearded elder closes his eyes, the weight of ages upon him. At last he speaks. I have pondered this until I glimpsed the ancient vision. SFX, flames dance in his eyes. Our bloodline weakens. The phoenix's divine flame that once forged our ancestors' very essence has thinned. Now, even breaking through the eight-ways realm is a struggle. Gasps ripple through the crowd. A young man stammers. How is that possible? The specter of extinction looms. But then, the great doors burst open. A white-robed elder with a golden crown strides in, his voice ringing. Worry no more. He gestures to the youth beside him. Heaven has sent us an answer. The holy emissary is here. In that instant, the Sea King's body trembles. A colossal divine avatar materializes behind him. His eyes lock onto the purple-haired youth. The ancient power slumbering in my veins, it stirs. His voice shakes with awe. You carry the legendary divine flames of the phoenix, don't you? The white-haired elder beside him gasps. A true soul phoenix, a legend from the dawn of time. All eyes turn to the calm youth. He stands amidst the underwater palace, unmoved by the commotion. A simple affirmation. Yeah, I do. 2 words, holding the weight of eons. Really, the Sea King's composure shatters. He drops to his knees, hands clasped, tears streaming. Heaven has answered. I thank the heavens. The youth reaches out to steady him. His own gaze is deep and unreadable as the abyss. The Blazefish chieftain clutches Li Yunxiao's arm, desperation in his eyes. Holy emissary, the divine flame you released, it ignited my dormant bloodline. Please save our tribe. Li Yunxiao's mind races, his past life wisdom cutting through the plea. How can one man save a dying lineage? His gaze pierces the dark waters. Unless we find the Congo divine tree, your ancestors must have first touched the true essence of the flame within its heart. The chieftain's face lights up with revelation. Yes, the ancestral teachings speak of it, the sacred root of our tribe. It must be there. Without another word, the group transforms into streaks of light, shooting towards the strange, lifeless zone pulsing with primal energy. They dive deeper into the silent, eerie abyss. Not a single fish stirs. Li Yunxiao and his companions probe the source of the unnaturally dense life energy. Suddenly, the waters above them erupt. The Blazefish chieftain booms. Who's there? Stop now. His voice is thunderous. Have you seen any of the Razor Clam tribe scum? Li Yunxiao pauses, fragments of a bloody past surfacing. A sea tribe he casually obliterated during a past life flight. A cold smirk touches his lips. My memory is fuzzy. Perhaps I slaughtered too many. The words hang, heavy with unspoken violence. Cut to a glacial cavern. The air itself crackles with killing intent. The golden-crowned holy emissary points at an icy barrier. 150 miles to the divine tree. Do we force our way? The black-haired youth beside him grins, a predator smile. Of course, unless they've got 2 9-star martial grandmasters waiting, and I doubt our luck is that bad. The emissary nods, command sharp, kill them. Clear the path. A warrior named Tai Fan answers the call. He erupts forward, shattering ice waves with pure force. A blue blur shooting into enemy lines. Swoop! Ice shards fly. A scream tears through the air. Splush! A colossal wave of ice crashes down, swallowing all resistance. The deep-sea battlefield churns. A silver-masked knight, astride a blue seahorse, surges from a vortex's heart. Water vortex, rise! His roar births a massive whirlpool, churning foes like driftwood. Below, a blue-haired warrior screams. Let's speed up. Before the echo fades, streaks of blue, water blades sharp as scythes, slice through the blackness. Swoop! 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 Seafloor rocks shatter. Bodies are sent flying. A mist of crimson blooms. The skirmish ends. The crew scans the endless blue. Other than a few sea folk earlier, our crew did not run into any more. Yet, tension coils in every heart. The true tempest awaits within the divine tree. Through treacherous currents, they emerge, and the sight steals their breath. At the bottom of the abyss stands a colossal golden tree, its roots like tangled dragons, its crown radiating divine light, a submerged ancient city of the gods. Universal detect, spread. Li Yunxiao's eyes flash gold, his spiritual sense weaving a net. A question forms. If this was a phoenix's reincarnation site, why is it underwater? The holy emissary sighs beside him, stroking his beard. Holy emissary, this divine tree once stood atop an island peak. Eons have passed. Land has shifted. And so, here it is now. The weight of epics hangs in his words. Everyone on high alert. The holy emissary's voice cuts like a whip. The razor clam tribe infest the divine tree. As if on cue, beams of ominous blue light lance from fissures in the bark. Follow me. The elder transforms into a streak of light, leading the charge. If we can get inside the inner layer, they lose our trail. The group pushes forward a desperate sprint. The divine tree's radiance grows, swallowing their vision. At last, a cry rings out. We're here. This is the Congo divine tree. Its holy pressure bears down, an ancient god gazing upon tiny intruders. Inside the tree, a horrific sight unfolds. Thick, golden sap bleeds from wounds, its energy running wild. A blazefish warrior gulps it down, then convulses, howling to the void. The sap, the essence of our sacred tree. Who dares defile our holy root? Power floods him, bringing ecstasy, then crushing shame. He collapses, weeping. Li Yanxiao remains ice cold. He touches a drop of sap, feeling its violent power. His eyes narrow. So that's it. The razor clams are draining the tree's core to empower their entire tribe. His spiritual sense stabs deeper. Several powerful auras hide within, deeply concealed. This sabotage began long ago. Time is running out. Swish! Shadows detach from the darkness, spears leveled. Who dares intrude on the razor clam tribe's forbidden lands? You're courting death. Surrounded, Li Yanxiao simply spreads his arms, calm as a frozen lake. We break in. We adapt. His blue-haired comrade glances back. Any problems? A slight grin. Minor nuisances. In that heartbeat, the fight erupts below. Boom! Check! Swoop! Blue and orange energies clash. Blades and water crescents fly. Li Yanxiao moves, a tiger among sheep. Where he passes, foes are flung aside, forcing their way in. The four warriors push against the crushing water pressure and the tree's own defensive wards, driving toward the inner bark. Grah! The strain is immense. The blue-haired, sharp-toothed warrior snarls. The white-haired elder's veins bulge. The pink-helmed woman's eyes widen in terror. The metal-masked guard grits his teeth. A dialogue box screams above them. None at all. No retreat. No alternative. Only forward, break the tree, reach the core. They burst into the divine tree's interior. Colossal roots coil around them, golden sap flowing like waterfalls of pure life force. Li Yanxiao has no time for wonder. His expression turns grave. The most urgent matter, find spirit-nourishing wood. It forms from the vast life spirit absorbed by the tree. Near its core, he pauses, strategizing. But charging straight to the core paints a target on our backs. Suddenly, he feels a surge within. The realm I just broke through, it's starting to rise again. His past life knowledge whispers. The opportunities here are unimaginable. They reach a rocky chasm, where a pillar of golden light pierces the darkness. Within Li Yanxiao, the slumbering phoenix true fire stirs violently. The true fire hidden in my soul, it senses something. It's very lively. His white-haired comrade asks, "Are you fine?" "I'm fine." Then he moves. A blur, he shoots toward the light pillar. Swish! His hand plunges into its heart. Bam! Golden light erupts. Amidst a storm of blue and gold energy, he stretches out, ancient runes, creation link, flaring around him. The chi of the essence is being absorbed, refreshing. Limitless primal energy floods in, transforming into pure, true chi within him. A heaven-defying metamorphosis begins. Inside the divine tree, three forces circle like sharks. A blazefish elder laments the desecrated tree. Li Yanxiao notes, the tree has outer, middle, and inner layers. We're in the middle. The razor clams must be cultivating in the inner layer. Elsewhere, his companions sense the dread truth. No enemies on the path, yet the aura is overwhelming. They're empowering the entire tribe. Li Yunxiao's heart sinks. If they succeed, their power will crush all opposition. Just then, water explodes ahead. A blue-clad warrior surges forth. Razor clam bastards. His foe sneers. Blazefish sea dweller trash. You're already dead. An imposing white-haired elder materializes, his voice frost. Using your divine tree is an honor for your kind. Why so ungrateful? His aura erupts. The crushing pressure of a 9-star martial grandmaster. Had I struck to kill in the past, your tribe would be dust. Old hatreds ignite. Above, the razor clam chieftain in heavy armor points a massive sword downward, roaring, incompetent weakling. You led your tribe to ruin. When my clan ruled the eastern sea, yours were but shrimp groveling at our feet. You're not even fit to polish my boots. Below, the blazefish warrior's eyes blaze with fury, his demonic power surging. A guttural roar tears from his throat. You ask for death. A torrent of blue battle chi shoots upward like an arrow. Grudges old and new. Today, only blood will wash them clean. The battle shifts violently. A colossal blue energy vortex materializes, hurling warriors aside like ragdolls. Amidst the screams, a red-haired fighter gasps. A 9-star martial grandmaster. The spiked-helmeted warrior cries out. The holy emissary was correct. We underestimated their power. Their strength shot up after they got the divine tree. His words are cut short by a thunderous BM below. The muscular, white-haired blazefish chieftain is blasted backward, blood spraying from his mouth. A red-haired woman shouts, Tai Fan, out of the way. Tribe chief, your body. My vortex was ripped apart with brute force. The golden-crowned monster shrieks as his whirlpool dissipates. At the center, Li Yunxiao in blue-white robes blazes with golden fire, fists charged to their limit. I'm not done yet. You razor clam monster. He presses the advantage, surging forward for a second blow. Bam, whoosh. The fist connects squarely. The ground explodes in an orange-yellow shockwave, stone shrapnel flying. The monster is sent sprawling, utterly battered. The war ignites across the tribe. First panel. The razor clam chieftain crackles with lightning, glaring. Blazefish sea dwellers, how dare you attack me? Are you not afraid of our wrath? Second panel. The blazefish chieftain's flame crown burns bright. He roars back. It's now time for the razor clam tribe to bear our wrath. Finstar JD. He unleashes a devastating beam of twin stellar force. Boom! The very space quakes at the epicenter. Third panel. Aftermath. The underwater realm is chaos. Warriors are flung about. Children scream. Tribe chief, are you all right? Dad! The water churns with blood and spent energy. The inner layer of the divine tree, carnage. The white-robed holy emissary is besieged, pushed beyond his limit. He gasps for air, sweat-drenched. His children, the pink-haired woman and blue-haired youth, cling to him, crying, Dad, Dad, you'll be fine. Knowing his end is near, the emissary makes his last decree. I don't think I will reach the core. Tai Fan, lead them from now on. Before despair sets in, Li Yunxiao steps forward, his voice calm, yet absolute. Don't talk like you're about to die. Your life force is nearly exhausted. That's all. He gestures at the golden, sap-filled chamber. This is the Kungo divine tree's heart, the place with the densest life force in the world. Hope, he implies, is right here. In the abyssal ruin, the chief clings to life by a thread, his kin weeping around him. The old warrior's eyes snap open. Enough tears, he roars. I'm not dead yet. To the heart of this place. The command is a whip crack, and the ragged band surges forward. The scene shifts. In a submerged cave, a divine tree pulses with radiant energy, the very treasure the chief sought. Delay, elder of the Blade Clan, draws upon its power. His senses prickle. 6 auras approach. He gauges them and scoffs. One novice martial emperor among them. Unworthy of an alarm. But the depths hold more than one predator. In a separate layer, a massive violet-skinned chieftain thunders his ambition. Within a century, a martial venerable shall rise from our ranks. Then we crush the eastern sea clans. As to the intruders, his eyes glint. A martial emperor among them. Let them pass. For now, a purple energy, scythe, silently cleaves the water. Danger stalks the currents. Scanlation Group Promotion Page, non-narrative. Within the colossal tree's labyrinthine core, roots twist like entrails, glowing with an eerie verdant light. An elder strokes his beard. The heart is near. Find the true path, and we can hide and cultivate there. A companion scoffs. True path? Even the blazefish tribe that once held this tree couldn't map its guts. As doubt spreads, Li Yunxiao's body resonates with a sudden, golden chime. He sensed something. Li Yunxiao points to a nearby hole. That one. It feels like the way. Others peer at the countless, identical holes. They all shield detection. How can you know? Yunxiao can only guess it's his phoenix true fire. Before another word, whoosh, the ground vanishes. A vacuum within the trunk swallows them whole. A vacuum. Inside the tree, one yelps. Now I truly wonder, groans another, if the blazefish tribe ever set foot in here at all. They land in a wondrous cavern, its floor etched with glowing golden circuits, blue crystals humming with power. Without pause, Li Yunxiao commands the setup of an ancient, intricate formation. As the last rune lights, he declares done. A simplified creation link formation. It draws directly upon a treasure's spiritual energy and converts it to true qi. The blue-skinned holy emissary gapes, asking a sharp question. Yunxiao grins. Sharp eyes. The formation blazes. Truly. The emissary cries, awestruck. My thanks. The formation activates. A vortex of golden soul energy erupts, flooding the chamber. The cultivators plunge into the torrent, their faces etched with ecstatic shock. This density, it's a sea of soul energy, one gasps. My old wounds. They're healing, another exclaims, feeling his power swell. They swim through the nourishing flood, dreaming of reaching martial venerable, even martial sovereign realms. At the edge, Master Yun watches in silence, a stark contrast to the boiling fervor around him. Sitting at the formation's heart, surrounded by a maelstrom of gold, Li Yunxiao smiles. He reveals its ruthlessness. Chopping the tree lets it regrow. We are draining its soul-nourishing aura, its very lifeblood. 10 such trees couldn't withstand this. With 8 cultivators, it wouldn't last 10 days. As he speaks, his aura erupts, breaking through to 3-star great martial ancestor. This method is 100 times more devastating than the Blade Clam clan's mere harvesting. But not all fare well. The white-haired Duan Yu sits amidst blue light, yet his true qi remains stagnant. Old Duan paces anxiously. Why hasn't your qi changed a whit? Duan Yu's lips tremble. My body. Suddenly, his expression twists. What? A fierce, sword energy erupts from within him. Old Duan is caught full force, blood spraying. Holy shit. Duan Yu stares at the blue energy wreathing him and the crimson sigil burning on his chest. Old Duan's eyes widen in horror, finger shaking. This is the 3 Directions Ghost Eye Curse seal. Duan Yu confesses. A former mercenary, he crossed Haolian Xiaowang and was branded with this seal. His cultivation has reversed ever since, a constant torment. Master Yun's gaze sharpens. The caster must be at least a 7-star martial ancestor. Is Haolian Xiaowang. The scene flashes to a memory. Dian Yu fallen, bloody and defeated. A debt of blood, waiting to be paid. Hearing there might be a cure, Duan Yu, shirtless and desperate, seizes Li Yunxiao. Young Master Yun, I'm in hell. No more jokes. How do I break it? Yunxiao, rattled, sighs and delivers the verdict. To break this seal, you must castrate yourself. The words land like a thunderclap. Duan Yu freezes, then collapses, howling with manic laughter. Ah! It's the laughter of utter despair. The onlookers are stunned. This isn't a cure, it's a death sentence. When the fit passes, Duan Yu produces a watermelon, spits out a seed, and critiques Rin Booby, another who chose the blade to break the seal. As if his own doom were a spectator sport. That guy had a wicked temper, killed without a blink, and had a taste for pretty boys. Duan Yu vents on a watermelon, slashing it while cursing Gu Feiyang as a F***king bastard. Li Yunxiao has heard enough. He crosses his arms, stern. Lord Gu Feiyang is the man I respect most. Peerless in martial arts, and a beauty seen once in a millennium. Duan Yu fires back. Slander him again and go castrate yourself. The bickering rages until Yunxiao's eyes narrow, his voice dropping to ice. But it seems someone here was disrespectful to Lord Gu Feiyang. The air freezes. Seeing the deadlock, Li Yunxiao, Gu Feiyang's soul within, pivots. He launches into a grandiose, shirtless self-tribute. Peerless martial artist of the continent. Savior of mankind, only to be cut off by his own current disciple, Li Yunxiao, in disgust. Enough. Put on a shirt. It's gross. Chastened, the ancient emperor kneels by a light sphere and reveals the true key. The three directions Ghost Eye seal requires the caster's blood to undo. Mentioning Halian Xiaowang's blood brings an unexpected blush, then a sly grin. But I can teach you a secret art. It'll suppress the seal for an hour each day. Panel shows a character kicking a stool with the tagline, "Problems should be fixed by the person who causes it." Transitional/promotional image, minimal narrative. In the energy-charged chamber, Li Yunxiao stands amidst swirling formations. He addresses Duanyu. "I cannot cure you, but I can teach you an art to suppress the seal for half an hour daily. Better than nothing. In time, I'll find a way to get you Halian Xiaowang's blood." Skeptical but desperate, Duanyu grasps at this slender hope. Meanwhile, in the mercenary city of Qinga Forest, campfires at the night. Within a lavish tent, Halian Xiaowang, fourth disciple of Gu Feiyang, 9-star peak marshal supreme, holds court. A woman's voice purrs from within. "Lord Halian, why stop? I want more." Inside the tent, women fawn over Halian Xiaowang. A blue-haired girl giggles on his chest. "My master, Gu Feiyang, never chased women." Surrounded by beauties, he stayed unmoved. A purple-haired one scoffs. "Huh, what's stupider than that? Being with every girl you see is the right way." A pink-haired woman adds with a sly edge, "Lord Halian, you're so wicked you should be his master." Maybe your master avoided women because he was inadequately equipped. The tent erupts in laughter. The joke strikes a nerve. Halian Xiaowang's eyes blaze. In a flash, he backhands the offending woman across the tent. Shirtless, muscles coiled, blue tattoos aglow, his killing intent smothers all laughter. "I spare you this once. Insult my master again, you die." He strides outside beneath the stars, voice icy. "My mood is gone. Settle it yourselves." Gazing into the distance, fury burns in his heart. The anniversary of my master's death approaches. Once I break through to the Nine Heavens realm, I will go to the Tiandang Mountains myself and uncover the truth. Within the depths of the divine tree, the atmosphere shattered. Gu Feiyang sat at the eye of a volatile formation, arcs of lightning crawling over his skin. The very Yuan Qi in his body boiled and surged, screaming for a breakthrough to the 4-star martial grandmaster realm. But disaster struck. A monstrous figure wreathed in violet mist materialized, horns gleaming with malice. "Human filth," its voice boomed, eyes burning crimson. "So you're the one draining the divine tree's soul energy. Hand over the formation diagram, and I might let you die in one piece." Meanwhile, outside the sanctuary, tensions were at a breaking point. Razor Clam Tribe Chief Demeng pressed the advantage, his forces surrounding the Blazefish Tribe. "Taiping, use your head and surrender the diagram," Demeng sneered. "For the power of a martial emperor, I might even pardon your people's crimes." But a worse betrayal emerged. Hung Yuan, a youth of the Blazefish Tribe, stood beside Demeng. "The trespasser from a few days ago. That was your accomplice, wasn't it?" Chief Taiping growled, betrayal and rage warring in his heart. Seeing his sacred tree plundered and his tribe betrayed, Chief Taiping's fury erupted. "You bandits," he roared. "What you've done to the divine tree. The Blazefish Tribe and yours are now sworn enemies." The situation was desperate. Taiping knew the tribe's future lay with those breaking through inside. He steeled himself. "Demeng," he bellowed, channeling his power. "You'll get that diagram over my dead body." With a roar, he unleashed a devastating blast of energy. Inside the divine tree, time itself seemed to burn. Gu Feiyang focused his energy, yet he could feel the faint, flickering life force of Tai Pin fading outside. A desperate sacrifice to buy them precious seconds. Then came a moment. Gu Feiyang's hand snapped out, a finger pointing at a peak 9-star martial grandmaster struggling before him. "Don't panic," his voice cut through the chaos. "Relax and circulate your energy. Conquer your heart, conquer the demon, and it will come naturally." Boom! A titanic pillar of energy erupted from the martial artist. A bewildered elder watching on the sidelines broke into a cold sweat. He actually guided a breakthrough so casually. Even a realm or two higher shouldn't make it this simple. It's as if he's teaching his own disciple. And it didn't stop at one. The former martial grandmaster roared as blue lightning shattered around him, his aura exploding into that of a 7 constellations realm martial emperor. At the same moment, Gu Feiyang smiled, his own energy cresting. "I'm about to break through to 4 stars too." Outside the tree, the battle raged. Tai Fan surged forth, his newfound 2-star martial emperor power blazing. Your holy envoy bids me join the fray. Another figure descended, Gu Feiyang in Li Yunxiao's form, power rippling around him, announcing his return. Like fire meeting ice, Gu Feiyang collided with the Razor Clan commander. Their weapons met with a thunderous kwh. The force nearly tore the blade from the commander's grip. His eyes widened in shock. So it's true. You were a martial emperor. A brief respite elsewhere. Young King Qing chattered with his companions about the legendary disciples of Yangdi. A debate ensued over the appearance of the infamous Hao Lian Xiaowang. Pressed for details, the king finally scratched his head. Ahem, I might have imagined that part myself. But let us return to the bloody field. Demeng swung his colossal violet energy blade. The black purification Orion blade shrieked through the air, sending two blazefish elites flying, blood spraying from their mouths. I was going to spare your tribe as servants. Demeng grinned savagely. But since you insist on dying, the history of the blazefish tribe ends today. A furious roar answered him. The one who dies is you. A figure wreathed in blazing yellow flame crashed into the fray like a meteor, Tai Fan, fresh from his breakthrough. He leveled his massive blade. This tree is ours now, you seafood monster. Tai Fan's eyes blazed with frigid blue light, his killing intent a tangible force. He moved, a blur, ignoring the storm of purple fire. His fist aimed straight for Demeng's face. I don't even need martial techniques to kill you. Boom! The sheer force of the blow shattered rock and sent Demeng flying. Staggering back, Demeng's blood ran cold. Tai Fan stood wreathed in crackling lightning, head thrown back in mad laughter. Hee. This feeling, it's been so long. His aura was skyrocketing. 8-star Grandmaster. 9-star, and still climbing. Demeng's voice cracked. 9-star? Martial Emperor? No, it's still rising. He watched in horror as Tai Fan's power shattered its final shackles, soaring into the legendary realm of peak 9-star Martial Emperor. Tai Fan's white hair whipped around him, a ghostly blue flame igniting in his left eye. Ancient words fell from his lips. 3 directions, ghost eye, curse seal. The air trembled. Then a single command that shook the world. Unseal. A cataclysmic pressure erupted from his core, swallowing the battlefield whole. Seizing the instant of Meng Da's demise, Li Yingxiao latched onto that faint, fleeting trace of escaping spirit. Like a falcon striking, he dove straight for the heart of the Congo divine tree. The spirit nourishing wood pulsed with raw, unrefined power. He threw his head back and laughed. It's here. Though incomplete, this prize held enough power to save Meng Wu's life. That was all that mattered. Li Yingxiao's plan was set, waiting for Duan Yu to clear the path. But the divine tree's millennia-accumulated power chose that moment to erupt. A tidal wave of golden light surged outward. His eyes widened. My chance has it come? Instinctively, he unleashed his universal detect, his spiritual sense lashing out like a whip. Who's there? The probe returned, nothing. Empty. His blood ran cold. Nothing. Before the thought finished, a colossal force erupted beneath him. A startled cry was torn from his throat as he was violently hurled into the air. This is a Scanlation Group advertisement page, unrelated to the main narrative. The tale continues. Our tale continues. Hurled through the air by an unseen force, Li Yingxiao had yet to land when a chilling, disembodied laughter slithered into his ears. There's no need to be afraid. No sooner were the words spoken than the world exploded. A thunderous rumble tore through the space as a cataclysmic wave of golden energy detonated beneath him. His short sword hummed in his grip, the very ground heaving with unstable power. The ambush was instantaneous, utterly unforeseen. In that heartbeat of chaos, Li Yingxiao wrenched his body under control and looked up. His breath hitched. Towering before him was a colossal entity woven from ancient wood and living vines, radiating an aura of primordial power that pressed down like a mountain. The words were ripped from him. You are. The giant spirit's luminous gaze fixed upon him, its voice booming not in the air, but within his very soul. You are the spirit of the Congo divine tree. The tree spirit's gaze was a scalpel, dissecting his very being. It spoke, its voice resonating with ancient knowledge, noting the paradoxical purity and age etched into Li Yingxiao's soul, a soul far older than its vessel. Li Yingxiao's heart clenched, his deepest secret laid bare. He instantly knew. The spirit nourishing wood had summoned its true owner. Cold sweat beaded his brow. Was he to be consumed to complete its form? But the spirit laughed, a sound like rustling leaves, declaring it only fed on stray, unclaimed spirits. As long as Li Yingxiao lived, his soul was safe. Relief was short-lived. The spirit's tone shifted. I have a request. Li Yingxiao braced himself. Here it comes. The wood. Yet the spirit's next words defied expectation. Not from you. The tree spirit was blunt. Meeting Li Yingxiao had rendered the damaged spirit nourishing would obsolete for its purposes. Its physical form was ruined, its soul energy drained by the formation. Even with the wood, its time was short. Li Yingxiao shot up, eyes blazing. You want to possess my body? The spirit's reaction was one of genuine, rumbling amusement. You humans prize your fragile shells so highly. In my eyes, only the body of a great tree is the most beautiful thing in this world. A companion nearby flushed with indignant annoyance. The spirit continued, almost dismissive. Although your body is somewhat extraordinary, it's still not as good as those of the higher-level sea folk. As its voice faded, another, deeper intonation emanated from the shadows. I need your help. The 5 words spoken from the shadows sent a jolt of primal fear down Li Yingxiao's spine. Reborn through fire? The phrase tore from him. This being wanted to use the phoenix's true fire sleeping deep within his soul. A flame even he couldn't control, for its own rebirth. It was tantamount to juggling live coals over a powder keg. One misstep, and he'd be ash. Yet the ancient presence radiated utter certainty. Its laugh held the weight of eons. Hee, don't worry. With my help, mobilizing the phoenix's fire won't be a problem. It stood amidst swirling golden embers, a living memory of primal epics. Don't forget, I have seen the true phoenix's rebirth with my own eyes. Then it offered the bait. This was an opportunity. Succeed, and it would teach him to refine that very flame. The temptations stacked like thunderheads. The tree spirit promised to channel all its remaining soul force into Li Yingxiao before its rebirth, a torrent of power that could propel him straight to the martial venerable realm. It even hinted at mastering the phoenix's fire through the process. Li Yingxiao's mind became a battlefield. On one side, the dazzling shortcut to supreme power. On the other, the terrifying gamble of a fiery rebirth. Spectral echoes of choice warred within him. The spirit struck again, unveiling another secret. It recognized the tyrant body tempering art he cultivated and promised it would advance by at least one stage after the ordeal. Another shockwave. The old spirit's perception was terrifyingly acute. He knew the next stage would multiply his physical power exponentially. Finally, a determined, though sweat-beaded, smile touched his lips. The scale of temptation in his mind clicked decisively. He met the spirit's gaze. You've said so much, how could I possibly refuse? Seeing him hooked, the tree spirit laid out its true condition. Upon rebirth, it would revert to a seedling and fall into deep slumber. Li Yingxiao must transplant it to a place rich in spiritual energy, safe and hidden. The reward? A great benefit upon its awakening. Li Yingxiao's eyes sharpened. What benefit specifically? He couldn't resist adding, with a threatening grin. If it's no good, I might just eat you as a tonic. The spiritual projection flickered in alarm. Finally, the spirit revealed the prize, a wisp of tiny mystic chi. Inwardly reassured, Li Yingxiao played it cool. Very well. I trust your nurturing abilities. A pact of mutual necessity was sealed. The pact was made, and chaos followed. The mysterious beings maw yawned wide, an irresistible force yanking Li Yingxiao forward. Tai mystic chi, he cried out, realizing with shock that this entity didn't just know of it. It housed the primordial energy within itself. Tossed aside by a gentler wave of force, his mind raced. He possessed a sliver of knowledge, this being held a fragment of the source. Its voice rolled like distant thunder, making a new offer. If you can help me be reborn, I will grant you more time mystic chi as a reward. Suspended in the air, Li Yingxiao's eyes ignited with fervent determination. His reply was absolute. Yes, of course. No time to waste. The tree spirit's aura erupted, its voice commanding the very space around them. In that case, we shouldn't delay. It unveiled a staggering truth. Only the ancient true spirits, lost to time, could cultivate the Tai mystic chi. This Kungo divine tree must have been influenced by the phoenix and refined for tens of thousands of years to produce a single wisp. Gazing at the starry void, Li Yingxiao saw phantom visages of those lost spirits in the energy swirls. Desire burned within him. If I can obtain a trace, the probability of reaching martial deity will increase greatly. The spirit's order was absolute. Follow me and clear your mind. Don't resist my universal detect. Li Yingxiao closed his eyes, his breathing stilling. Golden seals ignited around him, weaving him into the fabric of the ancient ritual. Yet at the final moment, Li Yingxiao voiced his core fear. If I activate the phoenix's true fire, I cannot control it. I fear being consumed, and both of us being reduced to ashes. The tree spirit's retort was sharp. You fear death. It warned that if Li Yingxiao died, its own remnant spirit would be devoured by the sea beasts. Li Yingxiao's resolve hardened into diamond. I do this for myself. No matter the danger, I will not drag you down with me. With that, he produced the vessel holding the spirit-nourishing wood. Decision made. Yellow flames roared to life. His final thought was crystal clear. Regardless of the spirit's rebirth, he would save Meng Wu. That was non-negotiable. Fire met soul, rebirth began. The remnant of the past martial emperor materialized, its voice a commanding bell. All right, follow my lead and don't make a single mistake. Inhale. Li Yingxiao complied, forming seals, focusing his spirit. The emperor's phantom laughed, a sound of final, grand generosity. I won't need this body anymore, so I'll transfer all my soul chi to you. A torrent of soul energy, vast as an ocean, transformed into a golden deluge and swooshed into Li Yingxiao's core. Instantly, his dantian erupted with a series of resonant chimes. Ding! 5-star Great Martial Master. Ding! Peak 5-star Great Martial Master. Ding! 6 stars. The barriers of realm shattered one after another. The influx of soul force was intoxicating. Li Yingxiao couldn't help a sigh of pure bliss. This is really so refreshing. The one who had donated this windfall, however, was in a far less pleasant state. A gray-skinned elder was bound fast by violet divine roots, thrashing in fury. Compensate me for my cultivation level. You animal. Unforgivable. His roars were impotent. In just a few days, riding this stolen tide, Li Yingxiao had already advanced to peak 1-star martial emperor. The elder's eyes bulged with rage, finally spotting the culprit. So, it was you causing trouble here. Return my yuan qi and cultivation level. The scene was labeled with brutal clarity. Caught in the ACT. How to escape. This is a Scanlation Group advertisement page, unrelated to the main narrative. The tale continues. One conflict unresolved, another enemy arrived. A warrior clad in violet armor wreathed in lightning descended like a thunderbolt, voice cracking with disdain. You 3 powers realm trash. You don't deserve this soul chi. D. His murderous intent preceded the attack, sharp as a blade. Below, Li Yingxiao, encircled by golden seals, looked up slowly. A single word, dripping with contempt. Idiot. A cold smile touched his lips. You came an hour early. As he spoke, the weapon in his hand blazed with incandescent light. Bam! The world shook as furious flame and azure energy merged into one, carrying an arcane mantra upwards. Born of water, return to fire. Karma purifies flames, emptiness with nothingness. At the edge of the battlefield, a figure in green watched and murmured, Has it finally begun? The violet-clad warrior arrived like a storm, but fled like a whipped dog. Li Yingxiao's silver hair streamed, a lotus of blue and gold fire blooming at his back, unleashing annihilating energy. The enemy recoiled upon contact, sheer terror on his face. What kind of flames are these? I feel a death energy, so intense, I feel like even my soul might be burnt. He spun to flee, only to catch sight of the monstrous silhouette looming behind Li Yingxiao. His courage shattered. And what is that monster behind him? I was so hung up on getting rid of that brat that I didn't notice that thing. Pride abandoned, he scrambled away with a final, desperate shout. Just wait, you brat. Although soul chi is great, my life is more important. A pulse of force rippled from Li Yingxiao as the coward vanished, leaving behind only a contemptuous echo. See you after our rebirth, brat. Meanwhile, the disturbance at the Kungo Divine Tree had not gone unnoticed by its rightful guardians. In the sea caves, a tsunami of blue energy surged, sending the Razor Clam tribe into a panicked, scrambling rout. Why is all the soul chi in the Kungo Divine Tree gone? This is bad. Enemies have appeared. Many members of our tribe have been killed. What? Who would dare? How dare they challenge the Razor Clam tribe? It must be related to these people. Let's go check it out. A hulking chieftain, his crucial breakthrough brutally interrupted, was apoplectic with rage. Eyes bloodshot. He roared at the cavern roof, voice cracking with fury. That bastard. I was about to break through. D. The tribal elder, Delay, scrambled to seek an audience with the inscrutable Lord Wei Shi. Prostrating himself, He pleaded, voice thick with desperation, reporting the invasion, the death of Chief Demeng, begging for intervention. Lord Wei Shi, seated in shadow, responded with the chill of deep space. What does your tribe being wiped out have to do with me? He coldly reaffirmed their old pact. He helped them secure the divine tree. They aided his breakthrough. Nothing more. He was no tribal mercenary. As dali stamirid furter playas, vexis paciensi vanished. A casual flick of his wrist unleashed a roaring dragon of yellow energy that issued forth. Dale esse bind cry, iwudentidare, was cut short as he was blasted back into the cavern wall. The disparity in power, the absolute coldness of purpose, was laid brutally bare. Beneath the ancient divine tree, the Violet Guardian frantically reports to Lord Wei Shi. The tree is mortally wounded, its soul chi has vanished. If it dies, his cultivation is doomed. Just as despair claws at him, Lord Wei Shi's voice cuts through the tension. A mere handful of martial emperors? He scoffs. Before the thought settles, a devastating beam of golden energy lances out, striking the foe square in the chest. An explosion, a final scream, and the enemy falls, pierced through. Cut to the chaos of battle. Amidst yellow energy, a figure in purple robes and a sharp hat appears, eyes burning crimson. He wields a blade of cold light. My breakthrough was interrupted by this sudden loss of soul chi, he snarls. Since you possess the power of a martial emperor, I shall grant you the honor of being my supplement. No time for a reply. A palm strike connects. A blue-skinned monstrosity is sent flying, clutching its gut. Below, the silver-haired patriarch shouts orders. Take them and retreat. I shall hold the line. The battle tilts toward disaster. Meanwhile, deep in a sea cave, the Blaze Fish tribe's chief bellows in frustration. Where is that kid? Before the echo fades, Li Yunxiao and Tai Ling sprint into view. Father, Tai Ling exclaims, her aura ablaze. I've broken through to the third rank of Sea Reef Finer. The chief's eyes widen. He embraces her, his beard trembling with joy. It's true. Your chi, it rivals the great sea refiners I've known. By his side, Tai Fei declares his own breakthrough. Shock and jubilation ripple through the gathering. The celebration shatters. Father, Tai Ling whispers, face pale. This place, this soul chi, is completely gone. An elder thunders, impossible. The Kunlun divine tree is wounded, but it shouldn't run dry. Li Yin Zhao's eyes narrow. Could it be related to that boy? He muses. No sooner are the words spoken than, boom, a concussive blast rocks the cavern. Through the swirling dust, a cloaked figure stands with its back to them, its presence suffocating. The Kunlun divine tree's chi has vanished. The voice echoes. Was it your doing? A stunned silence falls. Black clouds gather. Figures flee in panic. Doom! A pressure descends that crushes the air. Hovering above is a figure in purple, masked, with a lashing scorpion tail, wreathed in fearsome orange-gold light. Wei Shi! It's Lord Wei Shi! Screams ripple through the crowd. The only martial supreme in this entire region. The blue-skinned, gold-crowned chieftain steps forward, voice shaking with fury. But black-haired man is more aggressive, demanding answers about the missing chi. Suddenly, the chief's expression contorts with realization. I see it now. No wonder you stood by when the Razor Clam tribe first seized our tree. So you were their accomplice all along. Lord Wei Shi floats above, divine flames wreathing his form, looking down upon the Blaze Fish tribe as one might regard insects. What belongs to the strong, they simply take. Your tribe is good for little more than gnawing on leaves, he mocks, then mentions the Razor Clam tribe's brief, yet fruitful, tenure. Return the soul chi, or face extermination. A single, spiraling red eye glows with murderous intent. The chief prostrates himself, pleading, detailing decades of faithful tribute. But the hoverbat envoy beside him suddenly looks up, a cruel grin splitting his face. 10,000 years of tribute. It cannot compare to a single day's harvest. How naive. Tension snaps. The hoverbat agent blurs, reappearing with a hand at a captive's throat. If you won't speak, at least a martial emperor will make fine nourishment. Tai Ling screams, held back by others. Then, a calm, aged voice cuts through the chaos. Release him. I shall tell you why the chief vanished. The purple-clad agent freezes, his gaze snapping to Li Yunxiao, standing relaxed with arms crossed. The agent's mind reels. Asterisk, this person was within my spiritual perception the entire time, and I never noticed. Asterisk, the balance of power tilts. The peak trembles under the gathering storm. Li Yunxiao's aura erupts, a whirlwind of sapphire and gold that pins the armored Yaksha in place. His voice cuts like ice. 3 breaths. Leave, or be buried. Before the echo fades, his power detonates. Rock and snow blast upward. The Yaksha is crushed flat, a single thought piercing his mind. Asterisk, he can rend space itself? Asterisk. With the Yaksha in retreat, Li Yunxiao finally allows himself a moment. A sharp exhale escapes him. Too close. The thought races. Even the South Sea King took notice. A grin spreads. Asterisk, but the Phoenix True, fire's embers were enough. Just enough to send him running. Asterisk. Scene paused. Meanwhile, on another field of battle, a gray-haired warrior staggers as crimson energy blooms on his chest. Rage floods his eyes. With a roar, his left hand splinters wood. His right fist, a comet of crimson flame, smashes downward. Bang! Li Yunxiao's eyes blaze. His very bones seem to scream as the tyrant body tempering technique ignites to its second stage. Scarlet and gold energies wreathe him like living fire, muscles swelling, stone shattering around him. He clenches a fist, power thrumming through his veins. Asterisk, with this body, I can match a martial lord. I've reached the 4 quadrants. Asterisk. In the ocean depths, a group of drenched, bedraggled Yaksha point accusing fingers. You caused this. Then, realization dawns. The sea tamer they just saw flee from Shout was a warrior of the 9 heavens realm. Their stares lock on Li Yunxiao. Could you be a martial emperor? Li Yunxiao just blinks. Took you long enough. 2 elders stare, jaws agape. Am I dreaming? You skipped entire realms and broke through to martial lord. Li Yunxiao answers with his fist. Bonk. A man called Duan rockets backward, a fountain of blood from his nose. No true chi. Li Yunxiao muses, flexing his hand. Just physical strength, and it blew away a 7-star martial grandmaster. Duan clutches his face. I said hit me, not my face. What kind of logic-defying monster are you? Disaster strikes the deep. With the Congo divine, tree gone, a titanic vacuum forms, and the sea rushes in to fill it. A monstrous whirlpool, capable of swallowing mountains, erupts. A white-haired figure clings to a rock, his furious roar lost in the roar of water. F***CK. You guys wait for me. Another, a purple-haired youth, barks orders through the chaos. Block the undercurrents. Everything you have. When the sea fills the void, the whirlpool ends. Whoosh, a pillar of water weighing 10,000 tons crashes down, churning the vortex. Li Yunxiao rises from the seabed, expelling a mouthful of water. He tests his limbs, unscathed. Asterisk, the whirlpool was fierce, but it did nothing. The unyielding tyrant physique is tougher than I thought. Asterisk, urgency floods him. Asterisk, the others. The chief won't survive that shockwave. Asterisk, his eyes sharpen, an amber halo igniting at his brow. Asterisco universal detect, activate. Rain sheets down, crimson lightning tearing the sky. Father, where are you? Tui, thank the heavens I'm alive. Tai Ling, the chief, is here. Tai Fei help. In the chaos, a hulking warrior in violet and blue charges through the downpour, rage boiling. Asterisk, darn it. My chance. Ruined by that brat. Asterisk, suddenly, a verdant sword aura cleaves through the rain. Lotus sword song. The giant's chest erupts in blood. Brat, don't get cocky. I'm a 2-star martial emperor. Killing you is child's play. Get lost. Sparks fly in mid-air clash. The bald martial emperor's rage twists into shock. Wait, what? You're a martial lord. Days ago, you were a 1-star master. Before he finishes, another sword strike. More blood mists the air. Are you done yet? Li Yunxiao presses, a tempest of cyan energy. The emperor is forced back, a desperate thought screaming. Asterisk, you're 3 realms higher, and you're running away? Aren't you the crazy one? Li Yunxiao Madali Smukes. Lotus sword song, zero respect style. He disengages, a blur, fading away. The pink-haired Tai Ling throws herself beside her grievously wounded father. Holy emissary, please look at him. He won't make it. Save him. Her father coughs blood, struggling to speak. Don't bother. The holy emissary. Meanwhile, underwater, Yaksha swarm Li Yunxiao. You still have the purple 9-striped moth, brat. I memorized your face. We'll have a warm welcome for you back at Verdant Seaport. Li Yunxiao grits his teeth. FCK it. Asterisk, Tai Ling seizes his arm, hope blazing in her eyes. The heavens sent you. You must have a way to save him, right? Elsewhere, a white-haired man toys with a glowing communicator, a sneer on his lips. Never heard of such a lame request. But in his mind, another's desperate voice screams. Asterisk. Hit me hard. Let me see if I'm really not dreaming. Asterisk, a phantom impact follows, agonizing real. He crumples to the ground, a raw scream tearing from his throat. Wah! His reality shatters in an instant. In the Blaze Fish tribe, the air is heavy with dread. Blue light flickers around Li Yunxiao's chest as he remains silent. Please surround him. The heavens sent you. You must have a way, right? Holy emissary, please help him again. Li Yunxiao turns, azure currents swirling around him, his voice low. Nature is the true law. It does not exist because of benevolence, nor does it disappear because of cruelty. Tai Ling stares, her whole body trembling. The purple-haired youth's eyes shatter, tears welling. A voice, final as a judge's gavel, speaks. Your father has truly reached his limit. I could only save him if we had another Congo divine tree. The youth staggers. Then, the white-haired, ancient chieftain appears, a peaceful smile on his face. Oh, you dumb child. All lives will come to an end. I've lived long enough. The youth collapses, a heartbroken wail tearing from his soul. Dad! The old chieftain confesses his sins in the deep, voice racked with tears. As chief of the Blaze Fish, I led my people shamefully, nearly doomed us all. Tribesfolk cry out. It's not true. Chief, our finest chief. You can't die. Fading, the chief addresses a kneeling white-haired elder. To see you grow to this point fills me with joy. With his last strength, he proclaims, I hereby appoint Tai Fan as the new chief of the Blaze Fish tribe. Support him with all you have. A chorus of anguished denial rips through the water. No, Tai Ling steps forward, chin high. I'm a third-rank sea alchemist. My prestige is greater. I should succeed. Her gaze burns into Tai Fan. Do you want father to die with his wish unfulfilled? Tai Fan shudders, then kneels before the old chief, voice iron. I, Tai Fan, swear, I will protect the Blaze Fish tribe with everything I am. The holy emissary confers the elder title upon Tai Ling, commanding her support. Lastly, Li Yunxiao bows to the dying chieftain. I return to Tianwu continent. If fate allows, I will watch over the Blaze Fish again. The old chieftain makes a final plea. Holy emissary, can you stay longer? Tai Fan is young. He needs your guidance. Li Yunxiao shakes his head. I cannot. A purple-haired woman coughs, adding her own request. If fate allows, please watch over us. Li Yunxiao meets her gaze, his promise solemn. I will. The chieftain's face relaxes in profound relief. He declares to all, from this day, in all times and places, the holy emissary is forever a friend of the Blaze Fish. Honor him with our highest rights. The tribe's unified roar shakes the deep. At the cliff's edge, the final moment, Li Yunxiao holds the purple-haired girl, golden energy erupting around them. To protect their escape, the old chieftain ignites the last of his life force, a pillar of blazing orange fire. Dad! Chief! The tribe's cries are drowned by the cataclysmic whoosh of a golden energy column that tears skyward from the cliff. Tai Fan watches the light fade, his brow heavy, the weight of sacrifice and legacy settling upon his shoulders forever. The rain poured down as Li Yunxiao faced the flaming fish tribe. The fiery-haired woman shouted her accusations, her pleas for their tribe's survival lost in the storm. But Li Yunxiao turned away, his final words hanging in the damp air. Their future rests in their own hands. Beneath the waves, in a quiet corner, Tai Ling bowed before Li Yunxiao, desperate to learn the art of weapon refinement. Li Yunxiao saw the spark in her, the raw talent. First, fulfill your duty, he counseled, then extended an invitation. Come find me in Wuyan City on the human continent. I'll be waiting. Tai Ling's eyes blazed with newfound purpose, vowing to become the greatest marine refiner across all seas. Li Yunxiao simply smiled, dismissing the so-called masters as old-timers. With a calm final thought, he knew his time underwater, a journey rivaling his past life in intensity, was at an end. It was time to leave. High above the sea, Li Yunxiao rode a shimmering orb of water. A useful tool he mused could be refined into a fine weapon. His companion ribbed him for not simply flying on his own power. How do you plan to get back? Li Yunxiao shot back. Bickering lightly, they soared on, the place of their first meeting now in view below. On a lonely island, the holy emissary vanished into the sea with a final farewell. Li Yunxiao confided to his companion, a man whose hands were stained with the blood of sea clans. This closeness was a first. His companion's jibe about marrying the prettiest fish in the tribe, however, earned him a swift and painful trip through the air. Feeling frustrated, Li Yunxiao suggested coolly, "Take it out on the island's beasts." In the quiet of a forest stream, Li Yunxiao steadied his breath, his focus sharpening. Energy coalesced in his palm with a flash of light. When the light subsided, he held a radiant spiritual pearl, golden and entwined with vines, the very soul of the reborn Sungo, divine tree. Li Yunxiao stared at the divine tree's soul, a wild glee in his eyes. Swallowing this power could shatter 3 whole tiers of his cultivation at once. The temptation was a physical ache, but standing by the sea, gazing at the blue orb, his expression hardened. Greed was a leash he refused to wear. No soul power, no matter how vast, could compare to the supreme Tai mystic chi. The flaming fish tribe waved from their massive water sphere, farewells still echoing, when kaboom! The sphere erupted into a golden pillar of light and vanished. Li Yunxiao barely had time to register the sight before a vicious impact from behind sent him reeling. Following a hunch, Li Yunxiao found a hidden sea cave and blasted it open with a single punch. Inside, a hoard of treasure glittered, a mountain of gold and jewels. He whooped with delight, even chiding himself for destroying 2 other potential troves. With a sweep of his hand, he summoned a torrent of water that swept every last coin and crystal away, absorbed into his storage. Just in time, the thunder of hooves announced his companion, riding a mythical beast across the water, shouting about the rainbow fog. Without pause, the duo plunged into the swirling, colorful mist. But no sooner had they entered than his companion let out a pained yelp, clutching his face as if struck. Li Yunxiao merely shrugged, a picture of calm. The world is vast. This is hardly surprising. They arrived at a sheer cliff face shrouded in pink crystalline dust. His companion was eager to charge in, but Li Yunxiao held up a hand. Wait, the dust, he explained, was key. Dense meant a stable spatial tunnel. Thin meant certain doom. This peak concentration was their window, and the moment their universal detection would drain at its fastest. The moment the tunnel stabilized, smack, a dark figure ambushed them, sending Li Yunxiao's companion flying. It was their nemesis from the Star Mansion sect. Li Yunxiao's eyes turned to ice. His energy blazed, propelling him forward in a streak of blue light. 2 colossal powers met in midair with a deafening Ziai. What a fierce battle! The martial emperor from Star Mansion sect, clad in star-charred armor, roared, "Tiger Fong sword! A flaming tiger, read interraquakis barst fort." Li Yunxiao evaded the brunt, only to be met with a furious shout. A mere martial lord chasing an emperor? Are you insane? A cold smile was Li Yunxiao's only reply. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Amidst the swirling rainbow fog, the martial emperor boasted of his control over the pink dust, claiming he could slay them both and still escape to the verdant seaport. Li Yunxiao's blood ran hot, his attacks intensifying. He saw the trap. The enemy aimed to drain his spiritual power completely, leaving him stranded. The battle of wits and strength reached its boiling point. Li Yunxiao steeled himself, gathering a sphere of pink energy in his palm. With a thunderous shout, "Fortune Spirit Strike," he launched it. The blast hammered against the enemy's boundless realm and star mesh shield, forcing the martial emperor back, howling in rage. "You maniac!" Li Yunxiao's roar echoed back, defiant. "No matter what you do, I'm still a martial emperor. So what if you can control the dust?" Pushing his spirit power manipulation to the limit, Li Yunxiao unleashed the crystalline dust war axe. A crimson axe of annihilation descended. The martial emperor poured every last ounce of his yuan energy into his 3-fold star mesh shield. The shield groaned and crackled under the strain. Desperate, he snarled a wager. "If you somehow break the Star Mansion sect's ultimate shield, I'll kowtow to you 10,000 times." At the climax, the martial emperor marshaled a tide of pink crystalline dust, swearing to take Li Yunxiao's life. Li Yunxiao didn't dodge. Instead, a golden light erupted from his palm as he barked, "Block!" A radiant barrier solidified, halting the lethal assault. The martial emperor stared, dumbfounded, then erupted in fury. Such underhanded tricks. Weren't we facing off head-on? The Star Mansion sect trying to talk about morals? This is a Scanlation Group promotion page, containing no narrative. Li Yunxiao's cataclysmic strike finally connected. The Star Mansion sect martial emperor's defenses shattered like glass. He was hurled backward by the devastating force, smashing into the ground and sending up a plume of dust and debris. From the settling dust came the martial emperor's anguished wail, "My precious." Li Yunxiao's blow had shattered a stone he'd bought by chance, the very stone of 3 lives that had once saved him. A cruel smirk played on Li Yunxiao's lips. The stone of 3 lives? Had you told me, I might have spared you. Now aware of the treasure's true name, the defeated emperor could only stammer weakly. Young man, we can talk this out. Gentlemen, don't use violence. The hulking warrior in purple armor, who mere moments ago stood as a colossus, now finds himself at the edge of the abyss. Seeing the cold, unfeeling light in Li Yunxiao's eyes, the blade held ready, his courage shatters. He shrieks for mercy, promising riches and allegiance. But the red-haired youth merely gives a slight, contemptuous smirk. In the next instant, his sword erupts with annihilating light. Chaos reigns. A golden-haired warrior roars, disgusting, flames wreathing his form. A massive pink, shooting star fireball tears through the air with a sonic shriek, its target already locked. Elsewhere, the burly man in purple snarls, face contorted with hate. Vile purple energy lashes out like vipers as he screams his final curse. You bastard! You'll never have the violet 9-striped moth. D. Too fast to follow. The pink shockwave slams home with brutal force. The target is sent tumbling head over heels through the air. Yet, from within the maelstrom comes not a cry of pain, but a maddened cackle. Keek keek. If I can't have it, no one else can. Crash. He impacts the ground, raising a cloud of debris. As the dust settles, disbelief dawns on his face. I'm not dead, he gasps, eyes wide with shock. A sudden, bizarre transformation. A colossal, crystalline structure of pink light materializes in midair. With a horrifying pull, it sucks the white-haired, yellow-clad warrior inside. The onlookers can only stare in shock. Within the crystal, the menacing visage of a bald, monstrous entity coalesces. A maddening, mocking laugh echoes out. Hiche. Ha! Ha 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 ha. The sound reverberates, dripping with contempt and absolute dominion. From the shadows, a figure with pink skin and a star-marked brow watches, a single white line, eye gleaming with intrigue. A sly smile plays on its lips. What a strange pair, it muses silently. A 15-year-old, 4th-tier refiner, and a sealed martial emperor. On the battlefield, golden beams clash with explosive force. Another man, this one in purple robes, is caught off guard and sent flying by a titanic impact. With a mere glare from the possessed Hung Yuan, a crushing wave of purple and pink pressure descends. A sword's light flashes, swoosh, too fast for the eye to truly see. When a moment passes, the white-haired warrior lies sprawled on the ground, stammering, what just happened? A dark-haired observer swallows hard. The pressure he exerted just now. With a single glance, I almost collapsed. A blue-haired companion cuts in with chilling clarity. He was possessed. The truth begins to unravel. A refiner? The blue-haired youth exclaims. The dark-haired one nods grimly. Only a refiner possesses spirit power strong enough to leave their body and master such a parasitic technique. His gaze turns inward, recalling his own fall at Heavenquake Mountain and rebirth in Tianshui. He deduces the spirit must have lain dormant within the pink crystalline dust, waiting for a host. The others are struck with a mix of awe and relief they didn't face that entity directly. One, however, is already scrambling, shouting about retrieving the corpse of the violet 9-striped moth. Above the clouds, a roar of triumphant laughter shakes the very sky. The white-bearded giant throws his arms wide, power radiating from him in visible waves. Ha ha ha! I'm back. I'm finally back. Refreshed. The cry releases 15 years of pent-up frustration. Beside him, the cool-eyed youth stands silently at the cliff's edge, observing. Then, as one, they transform into streaks of light and dive, piercing the sea of clouds in a heart-stopping descent. No sooner have they escaped one ordeal than another blockade forms. A furious voice thunders. Who dares make such noise here? You're disturbing the limitless sex hunt. Before the words fade, dozens of suspended pagodas and oriental structures come swooping in from all sides. Whoosh, encircling the duo completely. The white-haired elder, standing on his glowing sphere, scowls. Surrounded right after an ordeal, the port comes into view. Above the vast emerald sea, green-roofed pavilions float, banners bearing the words, limitless, snapping in the wind. Two figures streak across the sky, one chasing the other on spheres of light. Below, on the docks, rows of gray-robed disciples with red scarves stand at attention. The white-bearded elder in yellow hovers in the air, letting out a booming laugh. The limitless sect? Ha! A disciple beside him cries out with excitement. We're finally back at Verdant Seaport. Inside the port, conflict ignites. A young disciple with black hair and a red scarf points an accusing finger at Duanyu. You dare laugh? He snarls, trembling with rage. 3 months of planning, 10,000 concealment talismans to hide this ship, all for hunting the golden mystic Seacon. And you've ruined it all. How will you repay us? Duanyu merely casts a cold glance his way. Repay, he echoes. That single word carries an invisible, crushing weight. The accusing disciple's heart hammers against his ribs, a cold sweat breaking out. He can't sense this elder's cultivation realm at all. Seeing the situation spiral, the golden-haired female disciple barks at her comrade. I told you to shut up. She turns to Duanyu, pleading, no, please, elder, be magnanimous. But Duanyu cuts her off calmly. No, the kid is right. I should repay you. The woman pales. No, please. Meanwhile, out in the harbor, alarms blare across the warships. Soldiers shout in panic. He's increasing his power. Activate the battleship's arrays. Limitless sect, prepare for combat. And beneath the waves, a massive, draconic shadow begins to stir. No time to think. Duanyu, his brown cloak billowing, wreathed in azure energy, plummets from the sky like a falling star. His right fist gathers power enough to shatter mountains and part seas. On the deck below, the young man and woman are frozen in terror. Oh no, he's trying to destroy the battleship. Elder, we are complete strangers. Why are you killing us? Duanyu ignores their cries. His fist descends, boom. Inside the structure, another sudden assault. The black-haired youth shoves the golden-haired woman aside, yelling, Big sis, watch out. Not a moment too soon. A massive beam of cerulean energy sweeps down from above with a deafening FWOM. It engulfs a purple-skinned monster with yellow horns directly in front of them. The creature has only time for a single, desperate cry. And no. The sea erupts. With a thunderous whoosh, splash, the legendary golden mystic Seacon bursts from the waves. Encased in a mysterious yellow radiance, its bulk is mountainous. The moment it surfaces, a furious battle erupts with the hunting ships surrounding it. Its horns smash through hulls, sending splinters flying. A geyser of water blasts skyward. The purple-haired Seacon is violently hurled from the depths. Tumbling through the air in a graceless arc, Duanyu stands upon the water, staff in hand, silver hair and golden headband gleaming. He sneers, I sense you lurking below. Since you chose to fight back, you die. The limitless sect disciples on the nearby ships are stupefied, their faces ashen with dread. He killed the golden mystic Seacon in one blow. His power is monstrous. We never should have provoked him. Duanyu tosses the Seacon's carcass towards the disciples as his repayment. They're caught between shock and fear. The golden-haired woman stammers. Elder, you must be joking. This con was ours, Duanyu glares. Enough. Take it and get lost. But one disciple staggers back, recognition dawning. You're Duanyu. The rumors said you were dead. Rage flashes across Duanyu's face. Who are you calling dead? His fist draws back to strike. Just then, a calm voice interjects. Please elaborate. What's going on? The black-haired youth finds a finger under his chin, the golden-haired woman demanding, Speak. Who are you? Trembling, he spills a terrifying secret. In Verdant Seaport, 7 martial ancestor experts once joined forces to hunt the violet 9-striped moth. The result? A total wipeout. None returned. Major sects sent investigators, but found nothing. The pink and white-haired warrior with the trident hears this, and flames erupt around him in fury. Damn it, it has to be. But the black-haired youth cuts him off sharply. And where did you get this info? The information exchange proceeds under high tension. The blonde man mentions experts from the Star Manor sect who witnessed the event. The blue-clad man, riding air currents, hands over the Seacon as payment. But the golden-haired girl hesitates. Well, but a chilling smile spreads across the lips of the black-haired youth beside her. If you delay any longer, we might just develop a taste for blood. The atmosphere freezes. In the next instant, the sea explodes. A barrage of shuriken-like weapons streaks towards the enemy formation like deadly rain. High above the clouds, the light sphere hangs motionless. The elder Duanyu stews in his anger. Shouldn't we expose the Star Palace sect for murdering their comrades? Li Yanxiao, Gu Feiyang, calmly corrects him. Call me young Master Yin. Duanyu's frustration boils over. What dignity do I have left? What pride? Young Master Yin coolly analyzes the situation, suggesting they could borrow the enemy's supreme 6th rank artifact, the Azure Luan warship, amid the chaos. Duan Yu stares, then explodes. Steel, are you mad? That's a 6th-rank battleship. Young Master Yun merely gazes out at the endless sky. Beneath his calm exterior, a storm of unparalleled audacity is brewing. High above the clouds, Li Yunxiao stood firm, facing a livid elder whose beard seemed to crackle with fury. 3 Tiger King ships lost saving your hide, and not even a thank you, the old master roared. Li Yunxiao merely crossed his arms, a wry smile playing on his lips. A trifle. That Green Phoenix ship is as good as mine. The Star Mansion sect? They're nothing. The elder's anger exploded. Do you know what you've done? We'll be hunted across the entire Tianwu continent. Li Yunxiao remained ice cold. The one who needs to worry about a way out is you, not me. Then smack. Before the old man could react, a sharp slap spun his head around. Li Yunxiao's gaze was glacial. Enough talk. Operation. Revenge. The Star Tower sect's debt will be paid by my own hand. Note, this scene is an out-of-story Scanlation Group advertisement and patron thanks page. Skipping to maintain narrative flow. Look up. Towering above the port was the Star Constellation sect's treasure, the 6th-rank Azure Luan Sky battleship. On its deck, chaos reigned. At the core formation site, a massive cyan crystal pulsed with light, surrounded by mountains of rare materials. Dozens toiled without rest. One man wiped his brow, sighing. Incredible. 4 of us working together, using mountains of treasures, and we've only managed to fix one formation source. Then WHOM. The core formation shuddered, erupting with radiant energy. The sheer, oppressive power washed over them, staggering their souls. Voices cried out in awe. Even a 6th-rank artifact refining Grandmaster would need a team to forge something like this. Deep within the Azure Luan's most secure chamber, a group stared helplessly at the intricate, glowing runic formation. Without the blueprints, we can't even touch the formation source, one despaired. Another's eyes shone with ambition. Imagine if we could fully restore the Green Phoenix. Suddenly, a figure materialized among them, silent as a ghost. They whirled around to find a black-haired youth standing there, utterly calm. Guards drew their blades in shock and fury. Halt! Who are you? How did you get in? The young man offered a faint smile, his tone casual. Me? I've been here all along. A closer look sent shock waves through the crowd. He's the kid from Mando Merchant Guild who delivered the primordial stones. He infiltrated us in disguise. In the blink of an eye, several purple-clad guards roared move and lunged to seize him. Li Yunxiao simply smiled, eyeing their leader. Decent talent. With time, you might even glimpse the divine transformation sea. The leader ignored him, channeling power into a palm strike. A cold light flashed in Li Yunxiao's eyes as he sighed. Very well, it's reasonable. It can be forgiven. Then, I won't hold back. Before the words faded, he moved. A whirlwind of motion, shing, skid, swoosh. The guards were flung like rag dolls before they could even see his form, cries of pain filling the air. For the final blow, a dart chain shot from Li Yunxiao's hand like a venomous dragon, cracking around one man before he was violently smashed into the ground. Whoosh! On another battlefield, the scene was even more brutal. A purple-clad expert dove from the sky with a mad laugh. Ha ha! I'm done gathering my power. Below, a youth in blue-gray stood with sword in hand, his gaze cold enough to freeze flame. He thought, why shout during a sneak attack? Eager to die? The purple warrior slammed down with mountain-crushing force. The blue-gray youth didn't budge. His sword flashed once, boom. Dust and stone exploded. The purple expert screamed, hurled through the air in a pathetic arc sheathing his blade. The youth coldly declared, "You overestimated me. I will break you. Look over here." Li Yunxiao's body ignited with crimson gold flames, transforming him into an unyielding tyrant incarnate. His opponent, who moments ago snarled, "I'll grind you into paste," could now only shriek in despair. Li Yunxiao's fist shot forward. Where it passed, stone shattered and air screamed. Boom! The impact shattered bone and sinew, sending his foe flying like discarded trash. Li Yunxiao's roar thundered. Grimy in a paste? You, Arc. Another fist followed, blasting another terrifying crater into the earth. Inside a martial hall, killing intent saturated the air. A purple-clad youth with a white headband moved like a dragon. His fist tore through the air with a scream, hammering an opponent who flew back, spewing blood. Before the dust settled, the attacker was upon him, a foot slamming down on the fallen man's chest. KRUD. The sickening crunch of breaking ribs was unmistakable, blood spraying. Bystanders paled, scrambling backward in terror. Li Yunxiao strode into a grand hall, his gaze passing over the pulpy, vaguely human-shaped mess on the floor. The surrounding guards were petrified. One stammered. He crushed a tear for a profound artifact with his bare hands. Another shrieked. Not even a martial emperor could do that. Li Yunxiao's eyes swept the room, his voice cold iron. If anyone else dares to overstep, this is the result. He walked to the center where a massive, but severely damaged, blue light formation sputtered weakly. He sneered, contempt dripping from his words. The Star Tower sect and its obsession with appearances. This garbage isn't worth the coin to repair. It's just a decoration. A piercing shriek suddenly tore through the battleship's interior. Li Yunxiao's form blurred into a streak of light, violently shredding through the blue defensive formations in his path. Runes shattered, energy bled out. Alarms blared shipwide. Someone is barging in. The formation source is moving. At the end of a corridor, four guards had just drawn their weapons when a soul-shaking pressure crushed down on them. Li Yunxiao stood there, a blazing golden sphere of light pulsing in each hand. His mere presence made the colossal battleship groan and tremble under the strain. A guard's teeth chattered. A fight that can make the entire battleship tremble. That's far beyond us. Is it the three great sects? Boom! Dust filled the battleship's core zone. Li Yunxiao stood amidst the wreckage, speaking calmly. Be careful not to wreck the battleship even more, or I'll have to waste more money. His words were cut by a roar exploding from the settling dust. Who courts death? How dare you run wild in the Star Mansion sect? The dust cleared, revealing a formidable, golden-robed elder with white hair, his aura towering like mountains. Disciples gasped in recognition. Martial Emperor Su Feng. Even the highest authority has moved? Li Yunxiao met his gaze with a cold sneer. You only appeared after I killed so many of your sect's disciples. Su Feng's killing intent erupted, his rage palpable. The one courting death is you. Two titans faced off on the deck of the Green Phoenix battleship. Note, this scene is an out-of-story Scanlation Group advertisement and patron thanks page. Skipping to maintain narrative flow. High on the deck, Martial Emperor Su Feng stood imperiously in his purple-white robes and tall crown, his voice booming. Who are you? Speak your name. I don't kill nobodies. Below on the stone steps, a muscular, yellow-clad man with white hair and a long staff stood over a heap of purple-clad disciples. He threw his head back and laughed. Ah, you? An arrogant little seven-star martial grandmaster. You aren't qualified to know my name. Before the laughter faded, he exploded into motion. His staff became a mountain of shadows, howling through the air as it smashed down towards Su Feng's head. The white-haired giant's body erupted with violent, azure-blue energy. His robes billowed as his aura shattered through its previous limits in an instant. The purple disciples below were crushed by the sudden, overwhelming pressure. This energy, it feels higher than Martial Emperor. He's at least a 2-star Martial Emperor. Their leader's ingratiating smile froze, replaced by panic. He clasped his hands, voice trembling. Oh Lord, please be kind. If our Star Mansion sect has offended you, this junior will bear the responsibility. Please show mercy. His plea was cut short as a tidal wave of blue energy smashed into him. EK? The leader was sent flying, bowling over his own men. The white-haired colossus stood above, looking down upon the routed Star Mansion disciples like a god gazing upon ants. The purple-clad leader struggled to his feet, hatred blazing in his eyes. It's you, the verdant seaport beast hunter. I'll trade a piece of knowledge for my life. Is it fair? The white-haired man's eyes flashed with savagery. You asked for it, feral old man. Elder, prepare for battle. He vanished, becoming a purple afterimage streaking down like a thunderbolt. Swoop. The point of impact exploded, cratering the ground. Distant onlookers gasped in horror. That guy, he's stronger than Martial Emperor Su Feng. Thank heavens the Star Mansion sect has numbers. They've surrounded him. A brutal melee was now inevitable. Meanwhile, in the battleship's core chamber, a crowd cheered around the reignited formation core. It's fixed. The Green Phoenix battleship is operational. Li Yunxiao poured cold water on their celebration. No. He approached the formation, touching the flowing light. This ship is decrepit. You're just forcing energy in with primordial stones. If I want to repair it completely, to use it freely, his gaze sharpened, looking into the distance. I will still have to go there. Li Yunxiao's foot tapped lightly on the floor tap. He thought, first, I'll have to take care of some annoyances. He walked casually toward a glowing, circular console. A light touch of his finger made it chime, ding, and glow green. Across the way, for enemies lay in wait, holding their breath. Two whispered to each other, when his guard is down, distracted by the ship, we'll move. We'll get rid of our embarrassment. Li Yanxiao seemed to see right through them. He turned his head slightly, offering a faint smile to the shadows. I really do feel sad for you. You've never even seen the ship's core. I'll show you something cool. The hidden enemies could wait no longer. With a cry of kill him, they lunged, blades flashing. Li Yanxiao didn't move. He simply raised a hand. A speck of emerald light blossomed in his palm. In a heartbeat, it swelled, spun, and erupted into a violent, shrieking spiral of green energy swoosh. Where it passed, the three leading attackers were utterly erased, not even time for a scream, reduced to a pulpy smear. The survivors scrambled back in abject terror. What the hell was that green light? How did a sudden flash turn those three into mush? Li Yanxiao lowered his hand, as if merely brushing off dust. They swarmed him, the Star Mansion sect, a tide of purple against one man. The blue-haired giant didn't flinch. His staff rose, his voice a thunderclap. Using your own as shields? Have you no honor? Then, the green aura erupted. Boom! Bodies flew like leaves in a gale, screams shredding the air. Inside the floating battleship, chaos reigned. The sect master, face purple with rage, bellowed orders. If this ship takes a scratch, we're all dead men. Elders, pour everything you have left. Obliterate those thieves. Outside, the gray-haired man with the staff stood firm, his thoughts grim. Against a barrage like this, even at my peak, holding the line would be a miracle. But the real drama unfolded in the ship's heart, the core array chamber. There, Li Yanxiao worked frenetically over a massive ice-blue crystal, resurrecting the legendary Devil's Tone cognate formation. Skeptical craftsmen muttered beside him, that junk heap's been dead for years. Li Yanxiao didn't even glance up. Shut it. Learn the schematics. You have 10 breaths. The moment they lifted the panels, WHOM, the entire array blazed to life with a violent purple shockwave. The formation awoke, and the world twisted. The eerie sonic wave pierced everything, shattering the Star Mansion's defensive arrays. There, the opening. Move in, capture them, the commander screamed. Too late. The purple sound wave surged like a tsunami. Aakak! The screams became a chorus. One voice, trembling with dread, rose above the din. This vibration, it's the lost Devil's Tone cognate formation. The entire battleship groaned under the assault. This is a community/recruitment page. No narrative to adapt. The tale continues, and the winds of change howl over the southern seas. High above, the green Phoenix battleship, sheathed in emerald light, cuts through the clouds. Below, colossal characters declare, a new chapter, Chapter 350, begins now. In the floating city, whispers spread like wildfire. Experts from 3 sects have stolen the ship's core. A 2-star martial emperor, standing alone against so many. Who in the southern reaches has such power? A storm that will shake the very seas is gathering. The scene shifts to the hall of another sect. Rows of white-robed disciples kneel in silence, fear thick in the air. Upon the high dais, a violet-robed elder shakes with fury. Fools! Intelligence Hall Master Xu Zhengqing. Your report claimed the Star Mansion's main array was broken. It cost us half a year's worth of origin stones. Xu Zhengqing kowtows, his face ash-gray. In this world, a single misstep at the top means a fatal fall. Behold the Devil's Tone cognate, an ancient, insidious melody crafted by Supreme Shizun to shatter minds and awaken inner demons. See this dignified figure, now clawing at his skull, screaming "shut up," against a void only he can hear. The vast green spiral in the starry backdrop, that is the visible echo of the invisible sound, a force that can unravel the psyche of a martial emperor. For a warrior, the spirit is foundation. Break its defense, and madness or death follows. And here comes the twist. The purple-robed man, having brutally sealed his own ears to escape the Devil's Tone, sighs in relief. Finally, quiet. He plans to turn the formation against the Green Phoenix. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. The very victim from the array appears, smirking. Well, trying to hide from the sound by destroying your ears. And then, a half-naked, blue-haired titan steps forth, completely unscathed by the formation's blast. He levels his spear, voice like ice. You use a pinnacle formation for this? The purple-robed man's blood runs cold. Why aren't you affected? Now, the white-haired warrior erupts in the chilling blue flames of the White Flame ghostly killer. At death's door, a memory flashes. If not for Li Yanxiao, I'd have died with Ma Wendy's team in the Southern Sea. He didn't just save me. He taught me the heart-calming technique to withstand this very attack. With a roar that channels that debt, he pours everything into a final strike. Regret your actions, even in death. Purple and blue energies collide in a cataclysmic boom. The blow that shattered heaven. A silver figure plummets from the sky, staff striking earth. A shockwave of cyan and blue erupts. Then, a colossal wave of purple destruction rolls across the palace square, crushing stone, whipping up a hurricane of debris. Onlookers stare, petrified. Look, it's raining. It's raining martial grandmasters. Wait, I think I saw Martial Emperor Su Feng among them. The final verdict burns white on black into the scene. Xu Feng. It's really Su Feng, an apex being of verdant seaport, Da Nian. Before the dust settles, another wonder. The Green Phoenix battleship, dormant for a decade, suddenly ignites with a brilliant gold light. A deep whoosh echoes as it begins to rise. The fleeing crowd halts, stares in disbelief. It's moving. The Green Phoenix is moving. Impossible. Everyone thought it was a relic. Higher and higher it climbs, then transforms into a streak of light that plunges into the vast ocean with a tremendous splash, cutting through waves. An era shifts with the awakening of this ship. In the port town, rumors explode. The square buzzes with frantic whispers. That ship was stolen too. Only the 1,000-crane pavilion's ship remains. It must have taken the combined might of Flying Sword Sect, Roaring Tiger Gate, and Fong Pavilion to bring down the Star Mansion. As the chatter peaks, whoosh, 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 3 figures land with authority. The sect masters, Lu Jinfei, Shernan, Duan Qinhu. Their presence silences the crowd. On the rooftops, the scent of conspiracy thickens. The golden-haired Duan Qinhu of Roaring Tiger Gate fumes. Our 3 sects were the blame. If we don't catch the real culprit, our names are mud forever. The hooded figure in purple counters with a sneer. Isn't that exactly what you wanted? Their calculus is cold. Even if the Star Mansion's 9 Heavens realm ancestor seeks vengeance, crossing borders violates sacred domain law. He wouldn't dare face the entire domain alone. But how to prove innocence? Duan Qinhu has no answer, only a grim, mocking laugh. High in the clouds, the kill order is given. Elder Zhu, his blue hair flowing, points a commanding finger downward. Someone is wiping out every last disciple of the Star Mansion sect. Below the clouds, black-clad soldiers spear fallen, purple-robed figures. A voice of panic rises. If all their disciples die, that old monster will hold us accountable. But Elder Zhu remains chillingly calm. Elder Yang, you worry too much. With 3 sects taking the fall, the flames won't reach us. Another adds, even colder, the annihilation of their branch will just make the Star Mansion oldie come and clean up the remaining sects for us. A masterstroke of manipulation, vicious and precise. As for Li Yunxiao, the horizon is now limitless. The Green Phoenix battleship screams across the sky, covering hundreds of miles in moments. In the control core, the yellow-robed, white-haired artificer gapes. You really stole the Green Phoenix, but the black-haired youth before him, Li Yunxiao, suddenly bursts into wild laughter, blue energy flickering at his lips as he curses the console. What kind of bankrupt sect is this? No money, no business playing with high-end toys. The terrified artificer flinches. I didn't touch anything. The Reborn Emperor's audacity and unfathomable depth are on full display. Joy is fleeting. The bill comes due. Li Yunxiao's face turns stern. The main attack/defense array. Fixed? Cost. The white-haired elder strokes his beard. Just powering the shield and 10 Devil's Tone strikes cost 50,000 mid-grade origin stones. 50,000? Li Yunxiao nearly leaps, the words money lost flashing in his mind. That's a year's earnings. The elder remains grave. A 6th-rank battleship affecting a martial emperor's vitality and spirit. That itself is a miracle. As they stew, for captured craftsmen tremble, begging, don't kill us. We're 3rd-rank artificers. We can be useful. A glint sparks in Li Yunxiao's eyes. He surveys the 4 captives. Killing Star Mansion men gains us nothing. They know this ship. Keep them to repair it. Then his tone shifts, and he drops a name like a stone in a pond. We need to find the Thunderwind Commerce Guild. The effect is instantaneous. Whoa! A collective gasp sweeps the chamber. What power does that name hold to inspire such awe? This is a chapter cover/transition page, primarily showcasing title and characters. No continuous plot, resuming from the next narrative scene. So, the Thunderwind Commerce Guild, a name that shakes the world. But finding it is an anticlimax. The white-haired man points to a tiny door in a back alley, a weathered Thunderwind sign above it, a child and a dog lounging outside. He scoffs, This is the legendary guild. Li Yunxiao replies calmly. True Leviathans need no grand gates. They'll take any job. One rule, payment up front. The man challenges, would they even take a contract on the head of the tyrant martial emperor, Ao Chongkong? Li Yunxiu's lips kirk. They would, and the deposit is beyond you. The battleship is too conspicuous. Li Yunxiao decides on the spot. Find a deserted island and hide it. He points to a distant speck of land. There, we land and conceal it. On the island, he personally instructs the 4 captives in the intricacies of a concealment array. They listen, rapt, thinking. A day learning from him surpasses a year of solitary study. In moments, the array activates. The colossal ship descends, lets out a deep W, and is swallowed by the formation's light. The entire island vanishes, leaving only a few rocks breaking the sea's surface. Right then, a man returning from a bathroom break rubs his eyes, stares at the empty horizon, and shrieks. The island? Where'd the whole damn island go? Li Yunxiao, half a moon's journey from Martial Flame City, stood before a humming emerald artifact, the sea at his back. A thought flickered. How fares the city I left behind? With a whoosh, his vessel carved through mountain passes, crossing into the dusk flame empire's very borders by dawn. No sooner had he landed than he was met. A white-haired elder, reeking of ale, flask in hand, blocking his path. Boy, the man slurred, face flushed. Who in the 9 hells are you? Li Yunxiao's reply was ice. You stink of drink. The elder bristled. I care a great deal. Ignoring him, Li Yunxiao turned, his back to the viewer, gazing down from a cliff at the sprawling city below. The title hung in the air, City Lord of Tianshui's Martial Flame City, a vassal state under the empire. The drunk elder snarled in disbelief. You? A backwater city lord? You take me for a fool. Such power, such presence. In a 15-year-old frame? Impossible. The elder, bold with drink, jabbed a finger. If you're not some major sex disciple, I'll make a stool of your skull. Li Yunxiao's lips curled into a cold smile. The words that followed were calm, yet earth-shattering. In my past life, I was a 9th heaven martial venerable and a 9th rank alchemy emperor. Sobriety hit the old man like a physical blow, his drunken flush draining. Raving? Yet the aura was undeniable. His mind raced, seizing on the only plausible answer. The Gathering Heaven sect, he blurted. The strongest in the Tianhua Empire. Only they, with martial venerables like Sect Master Qi Feng and his master Hua Qianshu, could breed a monster like you. Li Yunxiao's eyes sharpened. A connection clicked into place. Asterisk Hua Qianshu, my senior brother. Then Qi Feng is my grand discipler. Asterisk a thread of fate, long severed, trembled once more. The elder, triumphant, puffed out his chest. See? I got it right. Now tell me, what's your tie to the sect? Li Yunxiao's answer was a soft brush of his sleeve. Qi Feng is my grand discipler. With that simple statement and a gentle push. Asterisk Dioinke asterisk. The elder was sent sprawling. All drunkenness evaporated, replaced by sheer, purple-faced terror. His mind screamed lies, yet his mouth betrayed his deeper scheme. F asterisk CKU in your lies, he roared, even as he thought. Asterisk even knowing it's a lie. If I stick to him, I'll uncover the truth. We'll see you deny it then. Asterisk their eyes met across the space. One pair calm and deep, the other wide with horror. Li Yunxiao's final words were cold, final. If the Gathering Heaven sect heard that, you be ashes already. The setting sun bled over the distant peaks, and a wooden pagoda, casting long, ominous shadows. Meanwhile, back in Martial Flame City, the night shattered. The ground where the old lord's manor once stood heaved and roared. From the ruptured earth, a mysterious statue, wreathed in violent, emerald light, began to rise. Boom! Boom! The energy erupted in successive blasts, shaking the city to its foundations. Guards on duty pointed trembling fingers, their voices failing them. Emimito, WH, what in hell is up with that tower? The officer beside him was equally pale, stammering, I don't know. All they could see was the seething green inferno, a cascade of raw, ancient power erupting from the depths, awakening after an age of slumber. This upheaval's root was an old grievance, a twisted tale of vengeance. A man with wild eyes and a burning heart shook his fist at the sky. It's all because of Li Yunxiao. He did everything. Another urged restraint. My lord, just capture Li Yunxiao and you'll know the truth. But a narrator's voice cut through. cold and clear, unveiling the past. A man named Li Yi, coveting a treasure from the Supreme Palace, was foiled by Li Yunxiao, who took the prize. Spite festered. Seeking revenge, Li Yi tried to expose the theft to Ma Tianhe, but fate intervened. A man named Xingyang Hua stormed the palace, slaughtering half its members. In a turn of monstrous cruelty, Li Yi then tortured Ma Tianhe and his son to death. Yet, the father and son died without naming their tormentor. With his own scheme in ruins, Li Yi saw a final, foul opportunity. He piled every sin, every drop of blood, onto Li Yunxiao's name. A borrowed blade, two birds with one stone. Visions flickered. A ruined palace, eerie green illusions, a man collapsing in terror, a woman pleading on her knees, a web woven from conspiracy and innocent blood. Dragging Li Yi behind him, Xingyang was stormed back into Martial Flame City. His search fruitless, wrath consumed him. With a gesture, he reduced the Lord's manor to dust. Yet, as the debris settled, his eyes locked onto a lone, dark pagoda. His lotus field flames rage against it. Asterisk blam, asterisk boom. But the tower stood firm, its surface shimmering with defensive runes. A cold sneer twisted Xingyang Hua's lips. Let's see how long you can last, rat. He spread his arms, summoning a torrent of even fiercer jade fire, engulfing the structure in a roaring, crackling inferno. These defenses feed on your core energy. When the spirit stones are ash, so are you. My lotus field fire will never weaken. I'll burn you until there's nothing left. High above, amidst the clouds, several profound auras watched. They observed the dark pagoda, unmoved within the sea of jade fire, their all-seeing probes utterly blocked. Murmurs of disbelief rippled through them. A formation that withstands Xingyang Hua and shield from our senses. Something monumental lies within. Could the city lord be tied to the Xingyang family massacre? Impossible. The Tinshui royalty lacks such power. One observer, eyes sharp, concluded, ugly as it is, what's inside must be worth a mountain-guarding grand array. Their debate was cut short by a tremendous boom. From below, from a shower of rock and debris, a figure wreathed in violent emerald energy erupted. Li Yunxiao. His roar shook the air, his power breaking free like a dragon from chains. In a flash, Li Yunxiao emerged, charging straight into the cataclysmic jade inferno. Within the flames, a gaunt, furious figure, Zhao Shuai, poured his life's cultivation into his ultimate technique, the lotus field flames. Yet, even as he attacked, terror gripped his heart. Asterisk keys, just a martial lord. Why does he make a peak 9-star martial ancestor like me? Afraid. Asterisk a subordinate below shrieked in recognition. It's Li Yunxiao, lord of Martial Flame City. The gaunt elder, Xingyang Hua, bellowed. Who are you? He had sacrificed the path to martial emperorhood for this flame, a power even emperors dared not scorn. But then his eyes bulged. Li Yunxiao didn't dodge. A strange radiance enveloped him, holding the all-consuming lotus fire at bay. The elder's mind reeled. You're a 1-star martial lord. How can you block my flames? Li Yunxiao's gaze, sharp as a blade, cut through the fire. A single, cold question. Who are you? Before an answer could come, his foot stamped down. Asterisk ping. Asterisk, and a pillar of emerald fire erupted from the ground. In a blur, he was airborne, a storm of jade flames whirling around him. The pressure was mountainous, forcing the black and gold armored opponent to one knee, trembling. A gray-haired elder nearby shouted in alarm. My lord, that guy is cunning. Don't give him any chances. Another voice speculated from the sidelines. Xingyang Hua hasn't burned him alive yet. He must want answers. Hearing this, the gray-haired elder turned, snarling at the armored warrior. Burn him. Get our revenge now. The green-bearded Xingyang Hua erupted. Who are you to command me? Get lost. His jade flames rage hotter. But he failed to see the subtle change. His own lotus field fire, upon touching the golden blue flames wreathing his opponent, trembled and recoiled. Li Yunxiao's voice was icy clarity. Your flames retreat in fear, not by force. I'm one with my fire. It feels what you cannot. The tremor before a legend. A chill ran down Xingyang Hua's spine. He roared his name, accusation sharp. I am Xingyang Hua. Are you the butcher who destroyed my clan? In response, Li Yunxiao's aura transformed. His crimson robes billowed as golden blue, true phoenix flames roared to life around him. A phoenix's fury made manifest. His declaration was a verdict. A cockroach of the Xingyang family? Can't believe there's more of you. Unyielding tyrant physique, release. true phoenix flames. Let all other fires cower. At the sight of the gold and blue flames, Xingyanghua's pupils constricted to pinpricks. Visions of his clan's ruin flashed before him, igniting a primal storm of fear and hatred. He thrust a finger forward, voice raw. It is you. What feud did the Xingyang family have with you to deserve such annihilation? Across from him, Li Yunxiao's face was a mask of frost, his fighting spirit crystallized into living fire. The protective wrath of his past life fused with the lethal resolve of his present one. His words fell like hammer blows, a sentence pronounced. Take one man from me, and I will take everything from you. The course of your fate has been charted. Li Yunxiao stood in the air, crimson robes like flame, looking down upon his struggling foe in the icy coffin. His voice was absolute zero. Why get rid of you, old dog? The Xingyang family will be completely wiped off the face of the continent. Even frozen, Xingyang was remaining consciousness seethed, his rage a muffled roar through the ice. Preposterous. What do you take yourself for? I will burn you to ashes, then crack open this short tower and skin everyone by your side. Li Yunxiao offered no further debate. He spread his arms, the blue-green energy around him coalescing into 1,000 points of light. Then, with a roar explode, shooting star fire rain. A deluge of meteoric fire arrows tore through the night, engulfing Xinyanghua and the frozen earth around him in an annihilating tide. Would Xinyanghua simply await his end? With a final, desperate roar, he detonated the very core of his lotus field flames. My lotus field flames, burn 'em up. Jade fire erupted skyward, blossoming into a cataclysmic lotus of annihilation, its heat scouring the earth. Boom! The fiery blossom descended to engulf Li Yunxiao. But Li Yunxiao moved, a flicker, a slide between tongues of flame. His true phoenix fire wreathed him like a gossamer shield, holding the metal-melting lotus heat at bay. Then, whoosh, the fire behind him exploded outward in a concussive wave, violently scattering the closing jade inferno. Xinyanghua stared, dumbstruck, cold sweat drenching him. How is this possible? His mind rejected it. A youth 2 major realms is inferior, shrugging off his ultimate technique? Rage and terror fused. He fought like a cornered beast, pushing his dwindling power to the limit, palms striking wildly. D. I'm 2 great realms above you. How can you withstand it? Yet every attack dissipated within 3 feet of Li Yunxiao. Li Yunxiao advanced, his steps measured, steady, crunching rock underfoot. Xinyanghua scrambled back, terror consuming him. You, what do you want? Don't come here. Behind Li Yunxiao, blue true fire bloomed, igniting stone, illuminating his cold profile. A realization, horrific and final, struck Xinyanghua. I know. Strange flames. This child harbors, heaven-defying, peculiar flames. Their realm far surpasses my lotus field fire. Li Yunxiao's right hand clenched, summoning a sphere of incandescent blue true fire. His eyes blazed with crimson light, the phoenix's wrath. Whoosh! The fire launched, morphing into a spreading phoenix of blue and green, its cry piercing the battlefield. The mere shockwave sent Xinyanghua screaming through the air. Yet, Li Yunxiao's brow furrowed. Internally, alarm bells rang. I'm losing control of the phoenix true fire, even though I learned refinement from the Honggu ancient tree. As I thought, it's too hard to gain complete control at the martial lord level. Across the field, Xinyanghua clawed his way up. Gazing upon the blue flames suffused with primordial might, his terror peaked. He shrieked, ancient divine flames. This feeling, it's something from ancient times. Struggling to reign in the raging true fire, Li Yunxiao gritted his teeth. Damn it, I was almost able to. Seeing his struggle, Xinyanghua and his comrades saw an opening. You aren't fit to possess such a heavenly treasure. Give me those flames. Suddenly, clang. A white-haired figure crashed into the fray like a meteor, a long spear deflecting the attackers. The man was all muscle and flowing silver hair. He sighed, addressing Li Yunxiao. Kid, this time, I'm saving your life. As his aura bloomed, the spectators gasped. A 2-star martial emperor. The white-haired emperor sent a pulse of energy, temporarily suppressing the wild phoenix true fire around Li Yunxiao. Shut up, he grunted. Don't kill him while I'm suppressing the phoenix true fire. I want to kill the guy from the Xingyang family with my own hands. Stunned, Li Yunxiao demanded, You? Who are you? From the sidelines, Xingyanghua's ally sneered, seeing through the act. You were just too scared of him just now. You could have suppressed him with your realm, huh? So stupid. The white-haired martial emperor gave Xinyanghua a grim smile. Why do you need to know so much? His eyes lingered on the jade, lotus field flames. Your flames are pretty good. Give them to me, and I can secretly let you go. Xinyanhua's rage boiled over. How dare you on my lotus field flames? Even if you were a stronger martial emperor, I wouldn't fear you. The emperor's smile vanished. Is that so? Before the last syllable faded, his spear shot forth like a striking serpent. Asterisk smash. Asterisk, hammering Xinyanghua away. Far off, amidst the clouds, observers watched, faces grave. Who is he? He's an unfamiliar face. The best-case scenario, a hidden expert from some reclusive sect. Among the high observers, 3 men in white robes conferred, their brows knotted. One scratched his head in agitation. The Sandalwood continent is split into 4 regions. The southern region is weakest, unable to rival the other 3. Martial Flame City's trouble runs deep. Could he be tied to the 10,000 treasures pagoda? Another shook his head in denial. The third, an elder with horns and a sigil on his forehead, Elder X, wore the gravest expression. His verdict was final. We cannot act rashly. Better to miss a chance than make a fatal error. As they spoke, the battle below escalated. Asterisk boom, asterisk swoosh, a beam of green energy struck the earth. About, Brawny Man spat in disgust, cursing. Damn the holy domain's laws. Those old bastards from the other regions must have sneaked their disciples in. It's unjust. The observers' debate was cut short as the battle below reached its climax. Xinyanghua, a cornered beast, raised his arms with a deafening roar. Field flame, dual thorns. 2 massive, serpentine vines of jade-poisoned fire intersected, piercing the void, aimed at the white-haired emperor. Facing this killing move, the emperor showed no panic. The frost around him shifted, transforming into a swirling vortex of azure water, a protective barrier. A sneer touched his lips. Suppressing your fire is tricky, but did you think I had no other means? As he spoke, the watery vortex contracted, then exploded outward. A purer, more immense water-type energy, like a tidal wave, surged upward to meet the lethal poisonous thorns head-on. Yet he roared lost. In a flesh, Li Yongxiao moves. His strike, a blend of aqua and cyan energy, isn't about raw power, it's about precision and timing. The cloaked foe, a wielder of destructive flames, should counterwater. Shock turns to panic as he realizes the truth. Li Yunxiao's cultivation base towers over his own. It's not the element. It's the overwhelming superiority that crushes his fire. Onlookers chatter, one mocking fish heads, another begging for water techniques. But in this duel, the stakes are far higher. Li Yunxiao uses an unfamiliar, softer water art precisely because it's non-lethal. He's not just fighting to win. He's fighting to capture the lotus field flames smoldering within his opponent. This is a hunter playing with his prey. Cornered and desperate, Xinyanghua makes the ultimate gamble. With a roar of defiance, he detonates the lotus field flames within him. Green infernos erupt from his core. He's going to blow himself and the entire martial flame city to ashes. The bystanders scream in terror, visions of a fiery apocalypse dancing before their eyes. But Li Yunxiao, he stands unmoved. What does that have to do with me? He remarks, his voice colder than ice. His gaze is fixed on the distant tower and its mysterious formation. The potential ruin of a city, countless lives, they are mere background noise to his singular purpose. Such is the terrifying detachment of a true power seeker. Xinyanhua's suicidal blaze meets an immovable wall. You think you're worthy an entire city as your grave? Li Yunxiao's scorn is tangible. Before the explosion can fully manifest, a pillar of crimson energy, pure mental pressure, slams down from the heavens. It bypasses flesh and bone, striking directly at the soul. The chaotic green flames of self-destruction are caught, disrupted, and contained mid-rupture by this overwhelming psychic force. This isn't a battle of elements. It's the absolute domination of will over desperation. The right to even die a glorious death is denied. This is a promotional/credits page and does not advance the main story. The mental assault, known as the Universal Spirit Suppressor Exile, is meant to shatter consciousness, to drown the mind in terrifying illusions. But Li Yunxiao's spirit has been tempered across lifetimes. These false visions can't trick me, he bellows, an unyielding flame in the sea of psychic chaos. While others might crumble, his will stands like a mountain. The sheer resilience makes an onlooker gasp in disbelief. Who is this kid? The attack meant to break him only reveals the unbreakable core within. Breaking free from the mental onslaught, Li Yunxiao's counterattack is a blur. A solid strike lands with a sickening smack, sending his foe reeling, defenses shattered. But victory brings a new crisis. The Lotus Field flames are about to break free, he realizes. These unique fires are sentient. Upon their host's defeat, they flee into the world, lost forever. There's no time for triumph. With focused urgency, he gathers his power, fingers clawing the air to corral the dispersing green embers. The real battle begins now, capturing the elusive flames before they vanish into nothingness. From a distant cliff, Boss Xin observes the conclusion with cold, analytical eyes. The struggle for the Lotus Field flames holds no allure for him. A peculiar flame, but not aligned with my path, he dismisses. His cultivation nears a breakthrough. Such external treasures offer diminishing returns. The Xingyang family matter is concluded. His order to withdraw is absolute. His true focus lies elsewhere, on the imminent opening of Mount Sumeru. In the grand chessboard of power, provoking martial flame city's hidden backers now would be a foolish move. A potential cataclysm is averted, not by heroism, but by calculated indifference. With the immediate crisis over, Li Yunxiao stands at the cliff's edge, the town smoldering below. Without turning, his voice cuts through the silence. You four, come down. It's not a request. For figures descend from hiding. He points at the unconscious Xingyang Hua, still flickering with dying green embers. Combine your efforts. Help him suppress the flames. The order is absolute. The four exchange uneasy glances but dare not disobey. Channeling their energy, beams of light converge on the fallen man, forcibly stabilizing the volatile Lotus Field flames within him. Leaving the subdued flames behind, Li Yunxiao flashes back to his territory. The scene that greets him is one of devastation. Shattered rock, lingering fires, the aftermath of a fierce struggle. Yet, at its heart, the peculiar pink star-shaped structure stands untouched. A figure comes tumbling through the wreckage. Young Master Yun, you've returned. It's Qian Duo, battered but alive. Li Yunxiao's eyes narrow, assessing. A flicker of surprise crosses his face. Oh, you've reached the third tier of refining, he remarks, a note of genuine interest in his otherwise cool tone. It really has been a while. In the midst of ruin, a seed of growth is found. The tale unfolds. A martial grandmaster came hunting. Hongbin's sharp senses provided an early warning, allowing everyone to hide. Qian Duo, ever the curious one, ventured out afterward to investigate and paid the price, retreating wounded. Enraged at finding no one, the grandmaster flattened the buildings instead. Li Yunxiao listens, his only question sharp and clear. No deaths? How are Qian Duo's injuries? Assured of the young refiner's recovery under Master Su and Zhang's care, he gives a slight nod. A disaster averted. In the background, the enthusiastic cries of a training partner demanding a repunch and another revived, tougher than ever, are mere footnotes to this narrow escape. Li Yunxiao turns to the shaken young Master Yun and delivers a truth that shakes the young man's world. The one who killed your family's martial emperor is dead. He says it with the casualness of discussing the weather. Young Master Yun's face cycles through disbelief, confusion, and finally, dawning, ice-cold terror. The implications crash down. A martial emperor's fall, and this enigmatic, young Master Yun standing amidst the ruins with unfathomable power. The connection is too terrifying to voice. Li Yunxiao cuts through his panic with a command. Rebuild this place. Triple its size. An era ends with an emperor's death. A new one begins with a simple, definitive order. Back within the sanctuary of his cave, a familiar furry bolt of lightning zaps towards him, his golden beast companion. Li Yunxiao catches the wriggling bundle, electricity crackling harmlessly around his fingers. Finally, at the sixth tier, the beast nods furiously, eyes wide with pride. Beasts are chained by their bloodlines. A breakthrough is rare, he explains, stroking its head. But if they do, he pauses, feeling the potent new energy thrumming within the small body. It always causes a mutation. Their strength skyrockets beyond measure. The fiery glint in the beast's eyes hints at a lineage far more legendary than it seems. The little beast freezes, its fiery gaze locked on Li Yunxiao. A realization, shocking and absolute, floods its mind. The radiance of a legendary demon beast. Your bloodline. I underestimated you. It communicates, awestruck. Li Yunxiao offers no confirmation, only a pat. Want to see my true power? Another time. I have urgent business now. With a practiced kick, he sends the beast tumbling towards the cave entrance. Guard the door. No one enters. The beast lands with a cocky raha, crossing its arms in defiance, a perfect sentinel. Li Yunxiao strides deeper into the cavern, where a verdant maelstrom of life energy churns. And at its heart, a figure with flowing golden hair slowly opens her eyes. Mengwu, she whispers, a smile touching her lips. I'm here. Within the pulsating green light, a reunion steeped in hope and memory begins. This is a celebratory color page for chapter 300 and contains recruitment ads. It does not advance the main story.